Swisher blunts and I ain't never coming down. Bitch, you ain't no Barbie. I see you work at Arby's. Never too super silent. Hurry up, I'm starving. Gnarly, radical. On the block, I'm magical. See me at your college campus, baggy full of Adderalls. Call me if you need a fix. Call me if you need a boost. See them other chicken heads, they don't ever leave the coop. I'm in the coop cruising. I got the stolen plates, serving all the fiends over there by the Golden Gate. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis. Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. The basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. The basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. I put that on my partner, I put that on my family. Oakland City represent, address me as your majesty. Yeah, you can kiss a ring, but you can never touch a crown. I smoke a million Swisher blunts and I ain't never coming down.
Do you agree that there's no such thing as racism, sexism, homophobism, Islamophobism, deadbeat dadism, white supremacism, and all the other isms? Destiny, that's a woman's name. You were raised by your daddy and mama. That makes you half man and half woman. You are a beta. You're not a real man, beta. I just have one question for ya, beta. There's just one thing I want to know. Destiny, do you love all people? Do you really love the blacks? Destiny, do you love black people? Why can't you just answer the question? Destiny, do you love all people?
Systems, the company store, the paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderous scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video.
Hillary's in the creepy
sleeps in the same room with that creepy widow woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur.
Literal vampire pot belly goblins are hobbling round, coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go.
We're such self-centered crap. We don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
Horrors in this house. There's some horrors in this house. There's some horrors in this house. There's some horrors in this house.
I said certified freak. 7 days a week. Wet ass P word. Make that pullout game weak. Yeah, you effin' with some wet ass P word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P word. Give me everything you've got for this wet ass P word. Beat it up, N word, catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I wanna ride. I do a kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P word is wet, come take a dive. And continue along these lines. And it gets significantly more vulgar. Like, a lot more vulgar.
I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. My children aren't going hungry. I'll do it. I'll drink your blood. And I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like sizing up? I'm gonna haul him up by chain. Chop his ass up, size it up. I'm gonna haul him up by chain. Chop, 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 chop. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I'll barbecue your ass flat. I will cook your ass up so fast, and I'll tell them, well, I killed a cow out back, baby. You think Christ would eat somebody? He would never do that. I will. I'm ready to hang them up, gut them and skin them and chop them up. You know what? I'm ready. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. That's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first. I swear to God, if it's the last thing I do, I'm gonna get my hands around your throat.
Hey everybody, I got my mic on and it's a B-Word broadcast, oh my god! I understand how technology works, let's go! Oh, it's gonna be a good stream, everybody. I'm excited, I hope you're excited. I'm obviously way too excited. I got Maga tears. I got Maga tears on tap. The whole stream, it's gonna be great. Oh god, it tastes so good. It just tastes so good. How you doing? It's a kind of a mad day here in Montreal, like smoky skies. But hey, we got a good show lined up for you today. It's gonna be so much fun. Let's go. All right, chat. Yeah, so we're gonna be checking out. We're gonna be taking a look at how Trump got raided by the FBI, and we're just gonna be soaking in the tears. A bunch of snowflakes are gonna be weeping. Fox News is like apparently had segments prepared for weeks on this. They're like more ready than, I think the joke was they're more ready than the BBC than would be with like the Queen died. like 4 or 5 different segments. So we're gonna go enjoy some of that, catch up on the news, see what the hell is going on. From what I understand, it's Mar-a-Lago that got raided, and it might have to do with like all the White House documents he just kind of took. He just like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep this stuff. I'm just gonna keep documents. It's cool. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Hey, how are you doing, Daniel? Good morning. We got a great stream. This is so much fun. Okay, so we're gonna hop into it. Unless anybody's got news. What can I say for news? I had a really stilted and bizarre final class, which I could talk about later. That was absolutely bonkers. Incredible stuff. So I could gosh about that. But other than that, I mean, it's just gonna be Maga tears, and I'm pretty sure by the time we catch up on yesterday's tears, there will be more people live and weeping, and it's gonna be great. You know, fall of the republic, everybody. The president is not above the law. What is this? Yeah, it's great. It's great. All right. Let's get into it, chat. Let's take a look at what's going on in the world and laugh about it, I suppose. All right. Okay, so first up, Dan Bongino. And I think before we even watch this, it's like necessary to maybe listen to I Wanna Be Dan Bongino. That is a classic. That is a absolute banger. Or it's called I Wanna Be at the RNC. Yeah, that's what it is.
Stairs. He kinda looks like Dan
Bongino.
Grandma tries to tell me not to go down there, but I would be safe with Dan Bongino. I wanna be
Dan Bongino. Dan Bongino. Okay, so now that we've seen that,
And your quick emotional reaction, I think everyone's a little emotional here.
everyone's
about
emotional,
this
everybody.
raid.
Yeah, I mean, you think this is some third world bullshit right here. Let me say it again. Third
Third
world
world.
bullshit.
Third world, everybody.
I mean every word of that.
I thought this was
I don't
America.
care that it's cable news. I was a federal agent. I raised my right hand, and I swore to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States, and I love this country. This is a freaking disgrace. A disgrace. We don't live in Cuba. We don't live under Kim Jong-un. We live in a constitutional republic, a representative democracy. You have a bunch of FBI agents raiding the home of a former president because they don't like his politics? Are you kidding me? You've spent this whole show, Jesse, and I've spent my entire time either on Fox or on my podcast exposing the left for claiming Russia interfered in an election as Hillary Clinton paid off a bunch of foreign agents, her team literally, to fabricate a story that occupied the nation for 4 years. What's she doing right now? Getting a manicure in freaking Chappaqua.
Buttery males.
She's not doing squat. Nothing. Hunter Biden is having sex on tape while doing crack. While doing crack. And what is he doing? He's living in a Malibu mansion.
Amazing.
And yet the president, the former president, who, whether you agree with him or not on his claims about the election, whether you agree or not, we still live in a country where you are allowed to challenge an election. There's even a process, the ECA, the Electoral Count Act. You may not like it, but it's a process. How do I know it's a process? Because some people are trying to reform it. You may not like it, but now you send the FBI. Let me tell you something. I have paid due deference to the FBI for a long time, and a lot of listeners didn't like it because I work with some very good people over there who have since retired. The management of the FBI has now shredded any single sliver of credibility this agency had left. Nobody will take them seriously from this point on. It is over. You've heard the examples. Stone, Manafort, Cohen, over and over. Are they good guys? Are they bad guys? I don't know. I don't care. I don't know them. All I'm telling you is you cannot tell me we still live in a constitutional republic and not the freaking third world when you have Hillary Clinton paying foreign agents to interfere with an election, people lying under oath repeatedly, Hunter Biden doing crack on tape. Where are the federal agents? They're not in Malibu. They're not in Chappaqua. They're
so
in
good.
Mar-a-Lago. This is some third world garbage that happened tonight. And I'm telling you, the FBI management, here's a solution. Last thing. We have now got to win in 2022. You have no choice now, folks. Oh, we don't like the swampy Republicans. I don't like them either. Republicans may not be the solution to your problems, but Democrats are certainly the cause of all your problems right now. If there was ever a clarion call to remove your ass from the seat and go vote in 2022, this is it. And there has to be not only hearings, but a total house cleaning at the top of the DOJ and the FBI. When the left is complaining about one firing, fire 10 more people the next day. And then when the New York Times starts crapping their diaper and whining about it, fire 100 more people the day after that. Until you can get people in there who aren't Republicans, who aren't Democrats, but who believe in our Constitution like I did. I was going to give my life to protect Barack Obama. I spent 2 years in his detail around the world's hot zones. So I'm not going to be lectured by some a-hole leftist about anything. They didn't see my kid crying as I was flying around the world to protect the guy they loved. He was the president. I did my job. This is freaking embarrassing. There should be a massive house cleaning. And I'm telling you, please, God, I am begging you to vote in 2022, or you might not recognize this place afterwards.
Amazing. Amazing. Can we watch it again? Can we please watch it again? I just want to watch this again. It's so good. It's so good. It's so funny. He's whining like a little baby. Oh, ah, man. Tastes so good. So what else do I have? We'll circle back to that. I think I'm gonna watch that about 4 times today. It is so friggin' funny. Holy cow. All right, so next up we got Donald Trump's statement on it, which I still haven't read. I've tried to keep as much of this news fresh as possible. Hey, good morning. How's it going? How's it going, Laura? We're drinking Maga tears today. So, pull up a chair, get yourself a mug. Hoo-wee! It's gonna be good. These are dark times for our nation, as my beautiful home, Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, is currently under siege, raided, and occupied by a large group of FBI agents. Nothing like this has ever happened to a president of the United States before. After working and cooperating with the relevant government agencies, this unannounced raid, I think I'm gonna do it like in a petulant voice, like he's sobbing, he's crying. He's a rich kid who just got treated with disrespect by police. This unannounced raid on my home was not necessary or appropriate. It is prosecutorial misconduct. The weaponization of the justice system and an attack by radical left Democrats who desperately don't want me to run for president in 2024, especially based on recent polls, and who will likewise do anything to stop Republicans and conservatives in the upcoming midterm election. Man, he's so long-winded. I love how Trump supporters say you may not like him, you may not agree with his policies, instead of you may not agree with his crimes, you may not like his life. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the problem we all have is the criming, right? It's definitely, for me, it's the criming. I definitely think all the criming is the bad part, like the conspiracies and the lies and the flushing of documents down the toilet. And just kind of bringing documents home, just like, yeah, he's just gonna flout the law at every turn. We're just all gonna be like, okay, huh? Such an assault could only take place in broken third world countries. Sadly, America has now become one of those countries, corrupt at a level not seen before. They even broke into my safe. My safe, everybody, where I keep my secret documents. What is the difference between this and Watergate, where operatives broke into the Democrat National Committee? It's so fucking stupid. Here in reverse, Democrats broke into the home of the 45th president of the United States. There's so much that's wrong with this. I can't even get into it. First off, you're not president anymore, right? And it's not Democrats, it's the FBI, which, I mean, is supposed to not be a part of the executive. I think there's supposed to be like a little bit of a distance there. Oh man, this is juicy stuff. This is very juicy. On my left hand, I have a gun. But look at my right hand waving around. Look at that. Look at it. Look. Oh my gosh. It's honestly breathtaking. I have no idea what they're on about. It's bizarre. Okay. And also, in case you missed it, Trump said he wanted generals to be loyal to him like Nazis were to Hitler. Freedom! Freedom, everybody! This is a criminal conspiracy against the guy who wants to do the coup d'etat. How could a country, try to stop him? Why? I love how he has this mangina here too. It's great. It's awesome. There's plenty of evidence that Donald Trump wanted to be treated like a dictator, that he frequently butted heads with military leaders, and that his ignorance of history knew no bounds. It shouldn't be that surprising, then, how the former president reached back to World War II in trying to explain the kind of absolute loyalty he expected from his generals. According to an excerpt from The Divider, Trump in the White House, 2017 to 2021, published in the New Yorker on Monday, Trump once griped to then White House Chief of Staff John Kelly, the guy who did like the face palm. He was like, there's like an image of him face. Can we pull that up? Oh my god, it's so good. John Kelly face palm meme. It was like a whole meme. You can actually generate memes with it. Yeah, there it is. So good. I think that was when when Trump said that Israel was like part of Asia or something instead of the Middle East, and John Kelly just like face palms. I can't remember. It was something really ridiculous. So that guy he was talking to Trump, and Trump was griping to him about what he perceived as disloyal generals. Quote, "You fucking generals, why can't you be like the German generals?" Which generals? Kelly responded. "The German generals in World War II, said Trump. You know, the Nazi ones. You remember the Nazis, don't you? You remember those guys. Don't you remember the Nazis? They were, can't you be like them?" I've always been saying we need our generals to be more like the World War II generals, said Trump. Kelly then reminded the president of the failed assassination attempts against Hitler by his subordinates. Quote, "You do know that they tried to kill Hitler 3 times and almost pulled it off." It's awesome. It's great. It's like he doesn't even know what he's trying to be. But Trump, of course, insisted otherwise. No. They were totally loyal to him, he said. When he asked a comment by the New Yorker, Trump reiterated prior complaints. Quote, "These were very untalented people, and once I realized it, I did not rely on them. I relied on the real generals and admirals within the system," he said. You know, the deep state, everybody. You know, you remember the deep state? That's who he relied on. That's who he was working with. So that's a good thing, right? You know, he wanted Nazi he wanted Nazi style generals, and he wanted them to be working within the system. It's probably good. It's probably fine. I wouldn't like stay up at night or anything about it. Trump has pined for the kind of loyalty shown to other dictators as well. Yeah, we know about all that. Okay, moving on. More tears. We must drown in this river of tears. This is from Kevin McCarthy. You know, the guy who was at the heart of the failed coup d'etat, the one taking all of the text messages from Sean Hannity and, you know, that other one, the blonde one. You know, the blonde one on Fox. Her. Attorney General Garland. Preserve your documents and clear your calendar. I've seen enough. The Department of Justice has reached an intolerable state of weaponized politicization. When Republicans take back the House, we will conduct immediate oversight of this department, follow the facts, and leave no stone unturned. Attorney General Garland, preserve your documents and clear your calendar. Bro, oh my God, oh no. You know, yeah, this is it. Cope and seethe. This is how Fox News is framing things. Biden's FBI, as in Dark Brandon's FBI ransacks home of potential 2024 opponent. I love how they're dancing around the fact that Trump hasn't announced that he's going to run for president, despite strongly hinting at it because, like, tax reasons. It's just tax reasons. Okay, this tweet has since been deleted from Abby Johnson, person who writes smart things on Twitter. She said, "If the FBI can go after a president, they can come after any of us." You hear that, everybody? They might actually come after a president, you know, for all the crime and, you know, as one does when criminals are criming. And she makes that same joke. So much tears. Let's listen to son of alleged criminal, or allegedly criminal president. Let's listen to Eric Trump.
All right, joining us now live. He was with his father for most of the day, as I understand it today. Eric Trump is with us. Eric, you were with your dad as this was unfolding?
I was, Sean. In fact, I was the guy that got the call this morning, and I called my father, let him know that it happened. So I was involved in this all day. And, you know, welcome to politics in the 2000s. Sean, my father never got so much as a speeding ticket in his life, you know, until he made one decision, and that's to go down the escalators of Mar-a-Lago and spend a lot of money and go and actually
spew racist rhetoric against Mexicans for some reason.
fight for this country for the first time, and he did a better job than anybody has ever done. And they started coming after him. The Washington Post, the day he won, 2016, the day he won, November 8th, that night they wrote an article. This is when impeachment begins. He wasn't president. He hadn't been elected for for 5 minutes at that point. And they start, this is when impeachment begins. And then he's impeached the first.
Like, this victim complex is so perverse. He's like using his, he knows how the story plays out and is just sort of projecting onto the first moments. Washington Post was impeaching the president since day one.
And then he was impeached.
What does that even mean? Doesn't make any sense. Newspapers can't impeach presidents. What are you talking about?
Just second time, and they slandered him. They belittled him. They went after him. They went after all of us. There's no family in American history that has taken more arrows in the back than the Trump family every single time. And you know what? It's gone on past politics. You look at the attorney generals, you look at district attorneys all over the country. All they want to do is they want to get Donald Trump. They raise money on it. They send fundraising emails about it. They brag on camera about it. They go after him. They subpoena him. I'm probably the most subpoenaed person in the history of the United States. Every single day we get another subpoena. And they do it for one reason, because they don't want Donald Trump to run and win again in 2024. And Sean, that's what this is about today. To have 30 FBI agents, actually more than that, descend on Mar-a-Lago, give absolutely no notice, go through the gate, start ransacking an office, ransacking a closet. They broke into a safe. He didn't even have anything in the safe. I mean, give me a break. And this is coming from what? The National Archives? Yet, Hunter Biden, he's at firearms crimes, prostitution, illegal drugs, shady deals with everybody around the world. And by the way, it's all on his laptop for the whole world to see. In his own writing, in his own words, corroborated by everybody. Where are these FBI agents? Where is everybody? Why is it that the arrows only fly at Donald Trump and his family? Why is it that the political persecution only goes one way in this country?
It only goes one way.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what you were being told. What was the purpose for this raid?
Sean, the purpose of the raid, from what they said, was because the National Archives wanted to, corroborate whether or not Donald Trump had any documents in his possession. And my father has worked so collaboratively with them for months. In fact, the lawyer that's been working on this was totally shocked. He goes, I had such an amazing relationship with these people, and all of a sudden, on no notice, they sent 20 cars and 30 agents. Sean, I mean, this is just more political persecution of Donald J. Trump. They see Biden.
Well, let me go
He's
through
failing
this so in a little
every
detail.
single. Please.
But because I'm assuming, all right, so your father is packing, he's leaving the White House. I don't know. I'm guessing that your dad probably didn't pack a single box. I'm just guessing. You would know better than I. You can tell me if he did or if he didn't. All these boxes, all your personal items get brought down to Mar-a-Lago. There's a question about whether there might be classified information that had been written about a long time ago. Let's walk through the process. So Mar-a-Lago, the people that work for your dad, were working with the National Archives to go through the material to make sure if there was anything mistakenly taken that it was going to be returned. And you were working collaboratively on that. Is that correct?
So when the president moves out of the White House, you have effectively, 6 hours to move out of the White House. It's effectively inauguration time where one president gets moved out and one president gets moved in, right? That's how the whole system works, as you know better than anybody. My father always kept clippings, press clippings. He would have, newspaper articles, pictures, notes from us. When my mom passed away a couple weeks ago, he still had all the notes, over the years had been saved, all the notes that she had ever written him. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. My father saves clippings and things like that. So he had boxes, right, when he moved out of the White House. And he was very collaborative. If you want to search for anything, if you think anything, come right ahead. I mean, it was an open door policy. And all of a sudden, 30 agents descend upon Mar-a-Lago. Sean, this didn't come from the little local FBI field office in Palm Beach, Florida. You know who this came from. This came from...
This is like signed off in absolute secrecy. No one knew about it. There were no leaks. So this would have been in the top of the DOJ, which means it would have been like, I think the FBI director, Chris Wray, that Trump appointed, like the one who recently admitted that, the investigation into Brett I Like Beer Kavanaugh was a complete sham, absolute sham.
one place and one building, and that is the White House in Washington, D.C. They want to attack a guy who they view as his greatest threat, is Biden's greatest threat. And that's exactly what Donald J. Trump is, because you know what? He had an incredibly strong country. People realized he was an effective president. And you see Biden right now. I mean, Taiwan is getting circled by military planes literally as we sit here and speak right now. You've got, Russia, Ukraine, which is a total disaster. You've got everything that's happening in Iran, which is a disaster. You've got inflation. You've got gas prices. All the things that you talk about all night. We're not respected by anybody around the world. Our economy is garbage. And they worry that Donald Trump will come back in and win this very easily. They also worry about the 2022 midterms, which is the only reason they're doing the sham January 6th panel that does not have a single Republican on it. I mean, other than Liz Cheney, who's about to lose her race.
Adam Kinzinger.
Race by 25 points, right? It's more political persecution of Donald J. Trump. They can't stand that Americans love him. I mean, even as I watch the channel right now, they keep on showing these beautiful clips of people, waving Trump flags outside of Mar-a-Lago, his supporters. When has it ever happened?
Man, they're shaking in their boots. Absolute shambles. They're in complete shambles. It's great.
Happened in a political movement in the United States before.
You think back to the Russia hoax, the Russia witch hunt, the conspiracy theory. It went on for 3 long years. Eric, I covered it every single night, and we ended up being vindicated on every single solitary thing that was reported on this show with our full ensemble cast. Ari Fleischer tweeted out, "All I can say is the FBI better have a slam dunk criminal case. Otherwise, the Biden administration and the DOJ have crossed a line of no return."
I love how Sean Hannity isn't saying to the audience that his texts to Kevin McCarthy, the head of the House GOP, were revealed as part of the January 6th committee. I like how he's leaving that part out, where he's just skipping over the part where, he has a vested interest in duping his audience. just a massive lie of omission there.
What could they possibly think existed inside of Mar-a-Lago in a box that was taken from the White House that was so damaging that the FBI director and the Attorney General of the United States would have to raid a former president's residence and grab everything out of there? Because that doesn't make sense. What secret document could possibly rise to that level?
Yeah.
I don't know. He was the president.
I don't know. They'll probably find a note from me telling him how proud I am of him and what a great job he was doing as president.
Oh, man,
they might find some
scared.
pictures of my kids.
They're scared. That's Sean Hannity being like, what do they have? What do they got? Oh, no. What could they have? What do you think they have, Eric? What is it? What could it be? Tell me more. How exposed am I legally? Sean wants to know.
Maybe some nice, headlines. Maybe a nice note from you, Sean. It's insane. How many times can you cry wolf? I mean, the FBI dragged this whole country through hell for 3 years based on lies and deceit and dirty dossiers and FISA warrants and everything else, right? And everything proved to be incorrect, fraudulent, made up, an absolute sham. They dragged this country through hell.
Fake news,
and here they
fake
are
law.
again, raiding the guy's house. I mean, when do you give up? When do you say enough's enough? When do you give a human being, who fought so hard for this country?
Don't you believe your lying eyes, everybody? Don't you believe your lying eyes and your lying ears?
When do you give them the benefit of the doubt? It's got to stop, Sean. I mean, this is third world,
we do have examples.
Banana Republic stuff.
All right, so Hillary Clinton deletes the 33,000 emails.
Better emails.
She comes up with the
Better emails. He's going back to the old hits, everybody. You remember butter emails? All those mails covered in butter?
dirty Russian dossier. That dossier is disseminated to the press, the media mob, or the willing accomplices. They disseminate false information in the lead up to the 2016 election. Nothing.
A Canadian YouTuber who's like getting pretty famous and is a conspiracy theorist, Viva Fry, is making that exact argument. He's like, maybe Steele dossier is behind this FBI raid. Could be big if true. It's like, how old are these memes? Like, what is going on?
happens to her, nothing happens to the media. They don't even apologize or correct the record at any particular point. Then, of course, that information, unverified, is used to spy on Carter Page and backdoor into the Trump campaign transition team and presidency.
Yeah.
Nobody
I
gets
remember
held
that
accountable
arc.
for that.
That was like that wasn't covered very well, but it was bizarre. Carter Page going on to, I think it was some liberal show, not oh god, I could see his face. He's got the glasses. He's such a lib. But Carter Page is going on there and like being interviewed about the ongoing FBI investigation on him as to whether or not he's been like talking to the Russians. It's a very odd interview. It's very strange. He behaves so it's uncomfortable to watch almost.
If you or your brother Don Jr., God forbid, you lied on a gun application, I doubt you'd be on this program tonight. You'd be serving time in jail. Or you have process crimes. Peter Navarro was being charged with a misdemeanor. That usually means you call the lawyer and say, have your client report at this time, at this place, or we will secure a warrant for that person's arrest. Same with a process crime with Manafort, or same with Roger Stone. Sure. I mean, these are not violent criminals that deserve pre-dawn raids with guns in their face, and then, of course, tipped off CNN cameras. And America tonight is asking, do we have equal justice and application of our laws in this country? Because after the way they treated...
Wait, whatever happened to the thin blue line? I thought you support the police. What's going on? I thought Sean Hannity was pro-police.
Your father with the Russian hoax.
But not these police.
You know, again, they better have a good reason for this. And here's another thing. Were the lawyers allowed to follow the FBI through Mar-a-Lago today as they were looking everywhere? Did anyone watch them?
No, the answer is lawyers weren't allowed. They weren't allowed to be anywhere within sight. It's horrible. That's got to be a violation right there. They weren't allowed to be anywhere in sight. And going back to Hillary, there's a whole lot of other things. How about the Benghazi scandals? How about the Clinton Foundation? I mean, how many?
Wow, we are reaching so hard. Oh man, remember you know what I realized is that the reason they kept on that is because they knew they'd be able to recycle it for years and years and years and years. They're like, yeah, this is like good IP. This is good intellectual property.
You know,
Remember
shady
Hillary?
oligarchs from Russia were contributing to that. How about Uranium One? You want to talk about, you know, scandals
All
that
the
were
hits,
never
everybody.
investigated?
We're doing the classics. Nice.
Never vetted. You know, it's the rules for thee and not for me, right? That's the old, you know, Sean, this has been happening since day one. They cannot stand that a guy named Donald Trump, who is a real estate developer, who built tremendous wealth and fame, was able to go into a political system in the U.S. and take out a person like Hillary Clinton and beat them at their own game, and then go into Washington, D.C. and do a phenomenal job and not play by the rules and end up becoming one of the best presidents this country has ever had. And then they put in one of their own, and the guy turns out to be an absolute flop. He does a terrible, terrible job, and the country is going to hell under his leadership. And then now all of a sudden they realize that his son's in trouble, and that he's in trouble, and their political party's in trouble, and that Donald Trump is poised, if he wanted it, if he decided to hop back on that stage and wanted it, they know he's poised to win. And guess what? That threatens them, that threatens who they are, and they will do anything they can to take him out, to take me out, to take Don out, to take Ivanka out, to take our family out. They do it every single day. They do it at a state level. They do it at a federal level. The FBI does it. They subpoena us. They make our lives hell, Sean.
They subpoena us?
Every single day because
They
they
do
are
what now?
threatened by Donald J. Trump.
Sorry, what did they do?
They do it at a state level. They do it at a federal level. The FBI does it. They subpoena us.
I feel like that's a clip. They subpoena us.
Every single day. They do it at a state level. They do it at a federal level. The FBI does it. They subpoena us. They make our lives hell, Sean.
The FBI does it. They subpoena us. They make our lives hell. That's kind of funny. The FBI subpoenas
every single day because they are threatened by Donald J. Trump. And honestly, I hope, and I'm saying this for the first time, I hope he goes out and beats these guys again. Because honestly, this country can't survive this nonsense. It can't. This is not who we are. This is who Venezuela is, Sean. This is banana.
Yeah. I mean, once you have one coup, it increases a country's chance of having another coup. Isn't that an odd phenomenon? The more coups you have, the more likely you are to have coups. So I guess it's not a surprise that the guy who tried to do the coup but failed is gonna use this opportunity to do it again, right? You know, especially now that the stakes are so high. Because if he doesn't do the coup d'etat, he's definitely going to jail. So he better make sure to win this time. You know, otherwise, you know, he's gonna die in prison.
Public antics, having a home of the 45th president of the United States raided by FBI agents, safes broken open. This is not who we are as a democracy. Imagine if that happened to Barack Obama.
Obama?
The world would be in an uproar.
Well,
he looks so upset. Look at him. No.
Eric Trump, I don't know. I think Ari Fleisch is right. If you watch what they've done over the years, they don't get the benefit of the doubt anymore because they lied and they tried to take your father out for 3 years, and they used a dirty Hillary dossier to do it. They spied on him illegally. Nobody was held accountable. She wasn't held accountable. No raid of Hunter's house. They've had the laptop longer than anybody. Director Ray, I don't know anything about the laptop.
He's like, it's like a rap at this point, right? Like, if you know all the lore, you know all the lingo, you know all the hot goss, yeah, you can just like do this string, just leap from one conspiracy theory to the next, and your whole audience is like, yeah, oh man, I do remember Hillary, and her emails.
And we certainly have a politicized Department of Justice. There's no doubt about it. Eric Trump, thank you for being with us tonight. We appreciate it. Hey, Sean Hannity here.
Man.
Hey, click here.
I love the I don't know, the tension right now between the FBI has to do this or else they're communicating that you can do a coup d'etat and there are no consequences, and also how Trump now has to go do another coup d'etat or else he's going to prison. That's it's great. It's good TV. It's wonderful, everybody. It's super soothing stuff. Very calm and enjoyable news for a Tuesday morning. Okay, let's listen to Lara Trump. All the kids are going. Is Lara one of the kids? Who's Lara? Oh my God. Who is that? The wife of like Eric? I think maybe. I don't even know. This should shake you to your core, everybody.
Lara Trump, as promised, a member of the Trump family and former senior advisor to Donald Trump, joins us now. Lara, thank you for being on the program with us tonight. I will just start with this. Have you spoken to the former president? How is he doing? What is the attitude of the family?
I have spoken to my father-in-law, and I got to tell you, he's as shocked as anybody. I think for someone and anyone, quite frankly, who loves this country and believes in America, this should shake you to your core. What has happened
this was
today?
America.
This is a very clear demarcation in the history of America. Never before, as many of your guests have already talked about, Will, have we seen something like this happen, where an unannounced raid by the FBI is conducted on a former president of the United States.
Awesome.
Think about this. If this is what they're able to do to the former president of the United States, think about what they could do to you.
No, you're not telling me everyone has to be is like subject to the law? No. Okay, this is like all we're watching over and over.
For what? Arresting me for what? I'm not allowed to stand up for myself? I thought this was America. Huh?
I thought this was America. I thought this was America. That's basically what she just said.
Anybody in America. The bottom line here is that these documents that have been in question everybody's been cooperating. Everybody from my father-in-law's team has been cooperating with the FBI, with any authority that asked for anything up until now, and there was no need to make such a big scene, to do something this insane, quite frankly, to a former president. But I think everybody clearly knows, Will, what is going on here. This is about weaponizing the justice system, as it has been so many times in the past, against somebody who you politically do not like. They detest Donald Trump, not just on the Democrat side, but the general establishment, because he's not one of them, because he doesn't play their game. They are terrified he's going to announce any day that he's running for president in 2024, and this is a very convenient way to just throw a little more mud on Donald Trump, as though
I'm way more terrified of DeSantis than I am of Trump. DeSantis is way scarier. He's way more calculated and cool.
they haven't already done enough. This is the same agency, don't forget, the FBI, who, had falsified documents to get FISA warrants to, conduct this entire sham Russia hoax that the country had to deal with.
Yo, oh my God, Heem, are you serious? How you doing, man? Thanks so much. How's the stream? We got Mega Tears on display, everybody. We're drinking Mega Tears. Thanks so much for the raid, Heem. Everybody, if you haven't heard of Heem, go check him out. He just put out some great YouTube. He's doing interviews with some amazing, incredible people. And of course, is obviously one of the best communities on Twitch. It's like it's like half a dozen like super wholesome Twitch folk that I've found, and Heem is absolutely one of them. But yeah, thanks so much. Welcome to the B-Word broadcast. We're drinking Maga Tears today, checking out on the news. Thanks so much for the follows. Y'all are lovely people. I recognize so many of you. You're such sweethearts. How's it going, Katie? How's it going? Ice Beans, Gohendo. Carol Baskin. Do not come. Hey everybody, we're at 69 viewers. Let's go. Okay, we drank the tears of Eric Trump. Now we are continuing to drink the tears of Lara Trump. This is some great content, everybody.
With for 2 years, millions of taxpayer dollars and our time that we'll never get back to find what? Absolutely nothing. They've been trying to shove January 6th down everybody's throat in an effort to get people to care about that and think that's the most important thing in the world. That hasn't worked for them yet. So here they are heading into a midterm and heading into a presidential election season coming up where they know they have no hope on the Democrat side. They have nothing positive to show that they've done for the American people.
That's what I said. Yo, how's it going, public? Excuse me, how's it going, public loser? Welcome to the stream. You're a streamer too, eh? I think I saw that you're a streamer too. How's it going? Also missed a couple follows like Sourcing Support and Davis 9001. 9001, nice, sweet.
So what do? You try to take out a guy who hasn't even announced that he's running yet, but they're terrified of him on the Democrat side for sure. But I'm going to say it again, in the general establishment.
Laura, you've spoken to your father-in-law.
We're figuring out who Laura is.
You have the most immediate information of anybody we've spoken with tonight. Does he know? Do you know why his home was raided?
Okay. So literally, Eric and his wife went onto TV, and we're like, "Okay, we're gonna fix this, everybody. We're gonna fix it. We can fix it."
He believes it's the documents in question that, everybody's been really upset about from the White House. Look, my father-in-law, as anybody knows who's been around him a lot, loves to save things like newspaper clippings, magazine clippings, photographs.
I think I posted a picture from the Axios report of like literal documents in the toilet. There's a picture. I'll pull it up.
That he had every authority to take from the White House. And, again, he's been cooperating every single step of the way with the people that have questioned any of this. And I know people have brought it up before, but, look at Hillary Clinton,
Look at this. Look at this, chat. Trump's telltale toilet. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Why is Rogers... Why is that name in there? Why are there just... What's happening? What's going on with this photo? I don't understand. I don't get it.
33,000 emails that she just deletes that are completely gone and nobody bats an eyelash about it.
Happy birthday,
Donald Trump takes some documents that he had every right to take, that every president didn't take antiques, like Hillary Clinton took out of the White House and paintings, apparently. But that is what he believes, and that's what, I think is at the bottom of all of this, and the reason that they raided Mar-a-Lago, quite frankly.
Go to bed.
All right, always good to talk to you. Thank you for giving us that firsthand perspective from inside the family tonight.
Subscribe to the Fox News YouTube channel.
Okay, so that was Eric Trump's tears. We've done Dan Bongino's tears. And hey, well, I mean, I guess while we're here, we're gonna watch the Dan Bongino one again. I was going to watch it again anyways, but before we do, we'll play this banger just because Heem is such a sweetie, and I want to dance with all y'all.
I wanna be at the RNC. I wanna see Patricia McCoskey. I wanna scream for the GOP. I wanna sit with Dan Bongino. I wanna show the American flag. Eggs behind the toilet in grandma's basement. I wanna ask him if he'll be my dad. I wanna change my name to Nick Bongino. I wanna tell him about the man in the stairs. He kinda looks like Dan Bongino. Grandma tries to tell me not to go down there, but I would be safe with Dan Bongino. I wanna be at the RNC. I wanna be like Dan Bongino. I wanna be at the RNC. I wanna be like Dan Bongino.
So that's a really great song.
I wanna
go. Now we get to listen to Dan Bongino. This is such a good clip. This is so good. This is such brilliance. And oh yeah, if you want, whenever Heem, I guess, is not streaming, I'm often streaming in the morning. Y'all want another Libby? I want to try to do the debate circuit at this point. I'm one of those really patient, sweethearted Canadians. I think I'd do good in the Sharks' den. I think it would be good. Bonbon Radio Show starts in 2 hours. What's that? What's Bonbon Radio Show? Okay, let's watch Dan Bongino. Is he actually on the Dan Bongino show? He has his own show? Oh God, no. Uh-oh. But yeah, Dark Brandon strikes again, everybody. Oh, okay. Oh, his actual show? Okay, great. Yeah, what I figured is there's so many tears to drink. We'll just like from last night, and then by the time we finished, we're getting kind of full. We'll take a little stretch, take a little break, and then there will be like live stuff and be like, Dark Brandon strikes again. Yeah, you should have seen my or actually, yeah, chat. I got a pretty good. If you want to like see when I'm like live and stuff or whatever, go follow my Twitter. But I worked really hard on the meme, and it's like Dark Brandon shooting lightning out of his eyes and Trump crying. I'm just like, I'm such a reject at this point. The internet's breaking me, everybody.
Dan, your quick emotional reaction. I think
You
everyone's
call him
a
Bom
little...
Bom because he's immature and sensitive. I've called into his radio program many times and been hung up on. You've called into Dan Bongino's show? Really? Man, what was that like? Oh my goodness.
Emotional here about this raid.
Yeah, I mean, you think this is some third world bullshit right here.
Third world country, everybody.
Third world bullshit.
I thought this was America.
I mean, every word of that. I don't care that it's cable news. I was a federal agent. I raised my right hand, and I swore to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. And I love this
thanks
country.
for the follow, Code Sarah, and welcome to the stream. How's it going?
This is a freaking disgrace.
Philip Chair, get a mug.
We don't live in Cuba.
Evidence.
We don't live under Kim Jong-un.
Evidence.
We live in a constitutional republic, a representative democracy. You have a bunch of FBI agents raiding the home of a former president because they don't like his politics?
A citizen.
Are you kidding me? You've spent this whole show, Jesse, and
No.
I've spent
The love
my
letters?
entire time either on
So
Fox or
weird.
on my podcast exposing the left for claiming Russia interfered in an election as Hillary Clinton paid off a bunch of foreign agents, her team literally to fabricate a story that occupied the nation for 4 years. What's she doing right now? Getting a manicure in freaking Chappaqua.
What does that mean? What does it mean? She's getting a manicure, everybody. Can you imagine a manicure in this economy? Foreign agent? Oh, foreign. The foreign agents? Yeah, it's pretty funny, Carol. It's pretty funny.
She's not doing squat. Nothing. Hunter Biden is having sex on tape while doing crack. While doing crack. And what is he doing?
He's doing the crack sex, everybody. There's so much crack. He's literally having sex on the crack. Yo, welcome to the stream, Freddy Drongo, or is it Freddy D Rongo? Are you always wrong? Yeah, it's like those terrible scientists who stole the moon rocks and then like brought them to a hotel and had like the nerdiest sex on top of the moon rocks. Hunter Biden is just like sprinkling the extra crack onto the bed so, you know, mid-coitus he can turn around and do more crack, I guess. I don't know. It's great.
He's living in a Malibu mansion. And yet the president, the former president, who whether you agree with him or not on his claims about the election, whether you agree or not, we still live in a country where you are allowed to challenge an election. There's even a process, the ECA, the Electoral Count Act. You may not like it, but it's a process. How do I know it's a process? Because some people are trying to reform it. You may not like it, but now you send the FBI. Let me tell you something. I have paid due deference to the FBI for a long time, and a lot of listeners did.
You remember all the thin blue line? The guy talking looks like he is currently on crack. The thing I can't get over is just like his eyes look pretty dilated. They look like big. Look at those. Like those are some big, like what's happening there? Maybe he has like really dark eyes, but I got really dark eyes and they're not that big. I don't know. This dude has also done crack, I would bet. Plenty. Okay. I mean, what do you guys think? What's the over under on this? Currently on crack or has done crack?
Because I work with some very good people over there who've since retired. The management of the FBI
used to be Secret Service,
has now shredded any single sliver of credibility this agency.
I think we need to start thinking about conspiracy theories as like a type of drug. Some people maybe don't need crack or speed or, you know, I don't know, caffeine. Those people are freaks, of course. But some people get high just off of, you know, conspiracy theories and feeling like they know something special. I don't know, man. Who hasn't done crack? That's a good point, Daniel. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be so classist. The over-under is a week ago.
He had left. Nobody will take them seriously from this point on. It is over. You've heard the examples. Stone, Manafort, Cohen, over and over. Are they good guys? Are they bad guys? I don't know. I don't care. I don't know them. All I'm telling you is you cannot tell me we still live in a constitutional republic and not the freaking third world when you have Hillary Clinton paying foreign agents to interfere with an election, people lying under oath repeatedly, Hunter Biden doing crack on tape.
Awesome. Yes. It's so good. It's so good. I think of this like every time I listen to right-wing like news, I try to think of it like music. Like they're coming up with new songs. They're coming up with new hits. Lock Her Up was like one that was really popular. And right now they're coming up with the next one, right? Like Hunter Biden, you know, Hunter Biden fucks on crack. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's it. He licks his lips every time. He's so happy that a somewhat coherent sentence came out. He seems, he's got tomato syndrome going on. He's red in the face. Just like his neck is popping out.
And what happens? Where are the federal agents? They're not in Malibu. They're not in Chappaqua. They're in Mar-a-Lago.
What's Chappaqua?
This is some third world garbage that happened tonight. And I'm telling you, the FBI management, here's the solution. Last thing. We have now got to win in 2022. You have no choice now, folks. Oh, we don't like the swampy Republicans. I don't like them either. Republicans may not be the solution to your problems, but Democrats are certainly the cause of all your problems right now. If there was ever a clarion call.
I mean, what's amazing about this is that Democrats just passed this massive bill, right? Like they're about to just watch the tongue. I don't know if I can, Davis. I don't know, man. If I can watch that. I don't know if I can watch the tongue. It's
to remove your ass from the seat and go vote in 2022. This is it. And there has to be not only hearings, but a total house cleaning at the top of the DOJ and the FBI. When the left is complaining about one firing, fire 10 more people the next day. And then when the New York Times starts crapping their diaper and whining about it, fire 100 more people.
I love how their answer to the politicization of the FBI is to politicize it harder, but in our direction.
day after that. Until you can get people in there who aren't Republicans, who aren't Democrats, but who believe in our Constitution like I did. I was going to give my life to protect Barack Obama. I spent 2 years in his detail around the world's hot zones. So I'm not going to be lectured by some a-hole leftist about anything. They didn't see my kid crying as I was flying around the world to protect the guy they loved. He was the president. I did my job. This is freaking embarrassing. There should be a massive house cleaning. And I'm telling you, please, God, I am begging you to vote in 2022, or you might not recognize this place.
Vote harder,
afterwards.
everybody. Everybody, you gotta vote. You gotta vote harder. Whatever the problem is, have you tried, first and foremost, to just vote harder? It's important to do so. You know, it's the more you vote, the harder your vote votes, you know? It's science. Electoral science, you know? All right, now we're going to drink Bannon's tears.
Steve Bannon has experienced the weaponization of the justice.
You know, the one who's also definitely deeply involved in the conspiracy, the whole criming thing. I think he said some pretty crazy stuff on January 5th. Definitely seemed to indicate he knew a little bit more than he should about January 6th.
The system
You know, the
firsthand.
coup.
He's the former White House chief strategist.
Wait, his kid cried because he went away to kiss Trump's butt, and somehow the Democrats are at fault for that? It's, yeah, I mean, it's somehow always the Democrats' fault. Always.
He has been targeted relentlessly by the January 6th committee. He joins us now by phone to react to news of the FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago. Steve, happy to have you on the program, have you by phone here tonight. What's your immediate reaction?
Well, you know, I gave
Dark Brandon has too much power. Everybody, we gotta stop him somehow.
speech, the keynote address at the Cattlemen's Ball at CPAC on Friday night. I said we're at war. We're at a political and ideological war.
Yep.
And they've obviously weaponized the Justice Department, and this had to be approved by Ron Klain. This had to go up to the White House to be approved. Absolutely.
That's what's great.
Anybody saying it didn't is a liar. This had to go
It's
up
the
to
most
Merrick Garland.
persecution. Persecution by the liberal elite.
To Ron Klain at
Can't
least.
put out the fire in the I got a PFP of me like screaming my face off at the Rage concert, and I really want to learn how to make the Dark Brandon laser eyes. If anybody can teach me, please teach me.
And these guys, but look, here's the thing. This is about pure power politics.
It's
They're
real
absolutely scared
politics.
to death about
You were
Trump.
at the
It
Rage
can't be Mark
concert? No
Elias,
shot.
the guy who laid out the entire effort to steal the 2020 election, remember the Transition Integrity Project. He's tweeting right now all the U.S. code about documents and how, making sure you can't
Great
run for
concert.
federal office again. They're absolutely petrified.
I went to the Toronto one and moshed for an hour and a half. Came out covered in bruises. Story time. And it was one of the craziest. Absolutely one of the craziest. Just like moshing super hard. And what was funny about it was before the concert happened, we were listening to Run the Jewels, and it was like a really lovely community at the front. We're like all making friends, exchanging names, switching spots so shorties like me can like see and stuff, and shorties like her could see and stuff. And as soon as Rage starts, like the whole rush, everybody pushes to the stage. It's like an ocean wave hitting you. Almost lost my feet, and then like for the next hour and a half, it was just like just a blood sport. And there's this one really great moment where my brother wanted to crowd surf, and this big tall guy was gonna toss him up, and they were about to do it, but he was being really impatient. I'm like, wait, listen to this song. And they're like, it's kind of like a low tempo. And then I'm like counting it out. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a big drop coming. I'm like, 1, 2, 3, no. And we tossed him up just as like Rage like launches into, I think it was like Bulls on Parade or something crazy. And so the first time he ever crowd surfed was like such a good moment for him. It was really awesome. Yeah, Rage Against the Machine. It was so good. It was so good. It was wild. They really brought it. They really brought it. Yeah, definitely one of the hardest I've ever moshed. But all right, back to Maga tears.
Trump's going to announce in the next couple of weeks, win the Republican nomination, win the White House. Now, here's what's incumbent upon everybody. The House leaders right now need to step up and recommit Jim
Wonderada
Jordan.
Jazz Festival?
Full investigation. I think
No
cutting
Rage,
off appropriations to the FBI to get to the bottom of this. Okay, this is
Yeah,
going
if
to
you ever get a
continue on.
chance.
The FBI right now is the Gestapo. The FBI
Literally
is
the
Gestapo. Whether it's out in
Gestapo. Oh my
Colorado,
gosh! Wait, what?
bottom of this. Okay, this is going to continue on. The FBI right now is the Gestapo.
Wow.
The FBI is the Gestapo. Whether it's out in
Bro.
Colorado, putting a
No.
Gold Star mother like Tina Peters in chains, Peter Navarro in
Peter
chains.
Navarro.
It's absolutely obscene. This is an obscenity.
Yeah,
and
Jazz
we're
Fest
going to have to
is
fight
always
fire
great.
with fire. The way to do it is win elections,
The Montreal
win
Jazz
them
Fest is always
overwhelmingly,
great.
and then use the appropriations process to.
Oh, you're an Australian, Freddie? Nice, nice. Montreal Jazz Festival closed with The Roots, which was such a good concert. Rage has been my fave band forever. I thought I'd never see him. Yeah, I mean, hopefully they love tours and just keep on going, because you bought so much merch. I bought this one t-shirt. That's basically what I always do. Just like get the one t-shirt so I can support the band as directly as possible. Expensive though.
Choke down the FBI and choke down the Justice Department and get to the bottom of who approved this. This is so outrageous. It needs
Steve,
to be investigated.
I want to ask you
Yes,
this
sir.
question, Steve.
Yeah.
You know, I'm familiar with your point of view. I'm familiar with the opinions you share on War Room. I'm
War Room?
familiar with how deep you fear the corruption has run within the United States of America. I'm curious. I said this earlier in the program. Believing elections can change the place in which we sit today in the United States of America is a very optimistic point of view, because this corruption, if
A
it
new
is
bat
partisan
virus?
corruption, isn't relegated
stop.
to the FBI. We saw 87,000
Stop.
new IRS agents have been hired. You can look at almost any federal.
Monkey virus, bat virus. We're still dealing with COVID. No. I got COVID from that concert, actually. I absolutely got COVID from that concert. It was not it was definitely got punished. I definitely got punished.
Institution, including the intelligence community, who dismissed Hunter Biden's laptop as disinformation. And you can say to yourself, this isn't
COVID
one
too.
apparatus. This is
Yeah, the new update is out, everybody.
not one department. This is not one election.
No, I live in
Our
Montreal.
problem is deeper.
Well, you're 100% correct. This is not about corruption. Let's set that. That's not corruption. This is about the administrative state. This is about an undemocratic apparatus, bigger than bureaucracy. This is the administrative state, and they want to run things their own way, and they want to pick and choose who actually runs and who actually wins. This is why
I love how like Bannon is upset with the deep state at the same time that Trump is on the like currently there's an expose about him saying he wished he had Nazi generals and that they could work within the system, you know, kind of like a deep state.
it's incumbent upon, look, we have 2/3 of the nations in back of us. Hispanics, African Americans, Asian Americans. It's now time to take
And
control
polio's
of the
been
House
found
of
in the States.
Representatives.
Yo, the polio is pretty incredible that's like popping off. Also, welcome to the stream, Matt. How's it going? You're just waiting for the gay frog virus? I mean, doesn't that already exist?
With an overwhelming victory, and then act like we mean
Yeah,
it.
no, it does.
Jim Jordan
Look.
and people have to step up, and Kevin McCarthy have to step up and say, we're going to have full investigations. We're going to choke them down in corporations. Listen,
I got it, Steve.
This is a non
Didn't he's like trying to get him off the fun? I got it, Steve. I got it.
Jim Jordans and people have to step up, and Kevin McCarthy have to step up and say, we're going to have full investigations. We're going to choke them down in corporations. Listen,
I got it,
People
Steve.
get vaccinated for polio. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I hate to cut you off, Steve. We have more information coming in as we speak, so I got to get to that. Steve, it's great to hear from you
We
tonight.
got more information.
Subscribe.
We don't want to hear you blather on. But yeah, nearly all Florida sea turtles born female in the past 4 years due to rising temperature. So, I mean, they're feminizing the turtles. They're turning the frogs gay, everybody. It's, you know, knives out for nature. What do you want, nature? You think we playing here? You think we think we playing? No, we will feminize you. The forced feminization is being rolled out on sea turtles, and now that they know that it works, they're coming for you. They're coming for you, everybody. Who would have thought that Florida would be where the gender labs were secretly operating? All right. Bit over. Okay, now we've got Laura Ingraham. We're going to drink her tears. And the real target of this investigation is you. I wonder if she's going to mention during the segment that she was texting Kevin McCarthy during January 6th. I wonder if that's going to come up.
I'm Laura Ingram.
Let's
This
find
is
out.
the Ingram angle from what feels like a
The
banana
Ingram
republic
angle?
tonight.
They're
deep
transing the
state's
turtles.
revenge, that is the focus of tonight's angle.
Can I just stop and just take a breath real quick? A former president's home has been searched now by a
Maga
number
tears.
of FBI agents. When you look at this in the view of sort of 30,000 feet and history, Maggie, I'll start with you.
So good.
How big of a moment is this? Is this a moment we are all going
The way it bubbles when it just hits your lips, it's so good.
to remember?
Yes, we're all going to remember being together on this night because this is a night where you are going to remember where you were.
I was
Yes.
getting home from class and way too exhausted to stream live, so here we are.
Wile E. Coyote thinks he finally caught the Roadrunner.
Oh, okay. This is fun. Production value, everybody. We're gonna need a bigger
Well,
cup.
the search warrant served on Mar-a-Lago this morning.
The cars
And,
are moving like half a mile an hour, and I started staring at the passengers, waving goodbye. I started crying, and I couldn't stop myself. Started running, but there's nowhere to run to. Wait, what? The cars are... What is this? Is this a quote? All I know is that there's, like, protests outside of Mar-a-Lago, so we're going to try to tap into that
Donald Trump's name
as
on
soon as
it.
I've drunk all the tears.
But the real target of this investigation isn't Trump. The real target of this investigation is you.
It's you.
Or anyone who dares to call out and take on the rank corruption of the D.C. establishment. This is the
They're
deep
coming
state's
for you.
revenge. They're trying to show all of us that we'll be destroyed if we fight them, if we question the repeated failures of the Pentagon leadership, if we make serious, and I'm talking about serious moves to disrupt the status quo here in Washington. You know, the status quo that protects the powerful as long as they play the game.
Ooh.
Now,
protect
for
the
decades,
powerful.
they got away with selling us
What's with the
out by
flag
letting
they
in
got on the
20
other
million
panel?
illegals.
There must be an American flag in the screenshot and on pretty much anything you ever see on Fox News. It's always like that. There's always some amount of like patriotic jingoism happening in the background.
Flooding across our border. They sold us out by sending our manufacturing jobs to China. They sold us out by wasting trillions on stupid wars in the Middle East. And now they're selling us out by wasting billions more.
Stupid wars in the Middle East? That was George Bush. What is happening? Are they memory holding something that is like not even 20 years old? Oh my god, what?
In Ukraine. A year after 13 of our service members were murdered in Afghanistan due to our own generals' incompetence. And think about this tonight. Still no one has been fired.
Nobody's been
You think
fired.
Trump would have ever put up with any of this?
There's been hundreds arrested for
And if he
January
got back into
6th,
power,
but
they know he would hold all the right people accountable for what they've done. If the DOJ had a real serious case against Trump that was threatening the Republic, they would have charged him months ago. But the word had obviously gone out from the White House that he needed to be punished and he needed to be tormented in any way possible before the midterms. And of course, you can always count on the press, right? To never question the powers that be when the powers that be are Democrat.
oh man, she's like so confident there too. She feels like she just like owned Democrats and the press so hard in one sentence. She looks so cocksure and proud. It's
Midterms.
amazing.
And of course, you can always count on the press, right? To never question the powers that be when the powers that be are Democrat.
Ooh, it's too spicy for me. I don't know. You got to drop that spice a little bit. I don't know if I can take that. It's a bit. Wow. Oh man, what a zinger.
White House, outside, like the actual White House, not in the Justice Department. They didn't know. They were blindsided, given how buttoned up and cautious Merrick Garland is, especially with something.
Yeah, I think the quote, Gil Hundo, is like, journalists are not the stenographers of the powerful. And pretty much like calling, like Trump immediately started calling them the fake news, the fake press, Lügenpresse, like it's right out of Nazi Germany. It's crazy. Like the levels of the parallels are just way too, I don't know, on the nose. Him literally complaining about his generals not being like World War II generals. Like, come on.
Sticky as this, it's hard to imagine that they gave the White House a heads up.
I do agree. I would be stunned if anybody in the White House, including the president, knew.
That's the critical thinking that they do. But the best thing I think is Andrew McCabe, the disgraced former deputy director of the FBI. He was chiming in. And at the Standard now, this is wild, it's apparently that if a search warrant is issued, the subject must be guilty.
Wait, what?
The FBI.
Wait, what?
And at the Standard now, this is wild, it's
yeah.
apparently that if a search warrant
Guilty
is
before
issued,
innocent.
the subject must be guilty.
No, it's more like if you're going to open an investigation on literally the ex-president, only the people with the most amount of power and with the most rock-solid case are going to do it, because everybody knows this is going to happen. All the partisans are going to line up and defend the president. You know, it's going to be rally around the flag effect, circle the wagons, everything. And, like, they're going to lose their goddamn minds over this.
The FBI would not have taken a step as drastic and serious as this unless they had good information to indicate that this was the result of some knowing, willful, intentional acts of removing classified documents or sensitive documents, documents in violation of some federal laws.
From the man who
he
was a
stole
proven
documents.
liar
We
about
also
his
have,
having talked to
after we finish drinking Maga tears, we're going to go check out what the scene was like last night in front of Mar-a-Lago.
the Wall Street Journal, who had an obvious vendetta against Trump going back to 2015. Yeah, he's credible. They're obsessed. They're obsessed with knocking Trump out of the political arena. And it's, look, it's
Hey, she hasn't mentioned the text she sent to Kevin McCarthy on January 6th yet. I wonder why.
obviously hurt him personally and politically. But this also hurts our trust in our system of government. Because we all see the Justice Department's leadership now for what it is. It's not the image of Lady Justice operating with a blindfold. But this is a Praetorian Guard that shields all of those who...
Praetorian Guard. Help me with that, chat. What is that? It's like... Is that like the guard of the president, right? Like that's like the personal... And look, you can see... You can literally see the thin blue line in the American... And they've crossed out the name Pence. Like, did they just cross out the name? Old Roman guards. Oh, it's so stupid. It's so dumb. They're both like, the FBI is the Praetorian Guard, while they're flying thin blue flags, and also crossed out Mike Pence because they wanted to hang him on January 6th. They're just like, what is this? Ah, how dare you? How dare you point out the consequences of my actions? Why can't I crime? I should be able to crime. What's wrong with criming?
who hold the real power in this town. Surveillance, subpoenas, search warrants, they're the weapons of choice, which is what they deploy.
All the ones that require some amount of evidence to pass before a judge and for a judge to make a ruling on that. How dare they use these weapons? You know, law and order and truth and justice. Ah, it's the court systems that are really the problem here.
Deploy against you when they're threatened by you.
Absolutely wild.
They harass your friends, they make you spend money, and look, most people, they're not going to tolerate this. They're going to go through it, which is why the deep state usually has its way. But Trump is not most people. And Trump isn't the only target. Liz Cheney has already said that Ron DeSantis is too close to Trump. She can't support him. And I think we can all assume that we're going to get similar treatment if DeSantis gets anywhere near the White House. So they want to scare all of us into being silent. They don't believe that the GOP is legitimate unless it's controlled by the establishment types. And they're going to oppose anyone who tries to make real policy changes. And they're going to use every weapon they have. But we know all this now. We don't believe in the deep state anymore. We don't trust their titles. We're not impressed by their badges. The principled civil servants inside our government, the ones who still like to call balls and strikes, they're smothered by all those who choose corruption and cronyism over professionalism. So I saw them all tonight on the other nets. They were celebrating tonight. But Merrick Garland may have just done more to rally the conservative base than inflation and high gas prices ever could.
The gas prices.
Imagine what these people would have said if the Trump DOJ had executed a search warrant on Hillary Clinton's home.
I guess the part that I have a problem with this is it's just kind of boring. I mean, do people really spend hours on end listening to this stuff. It just keeps me thinking, like music. You know how you never get tired of hearing certain songs? It must be that like the brain feels good tingles when someone says lock up Hillary and then another person says, like, you're hearing the same words, but it's coming from different voices. And you're like, yeah, I'm hearing the same thing again, pattern recognition, but it's also slightly different, curiosity. So it feels good, you know? It's just like, that's all that like late night Fox News is going on. Hillary Clinton never incited the violent insurrection? No, but she did Benghazi and buttery mails. So, and she wiped her server with a cloth. Remember that? They hear you are right, and the brain does, and then that does the brain tingles. Yeah, like the confirmation bias. Like for me, confirmation bias is like the scariest thing. I think it's like the most pernicious force. Like it's the thing that, I don't know, keeps you from being able to tell what's true and what's not because you just get wrapped up in your own vision of things. I don't know. I find confirmation bias terrifying. Hillary Clinton did, however, inspire me to carry hot sauce in my purse. Wait, what? Why? What? I'm missing something there. I don't understand that. Hot sauce for the buttery mails? The world is saying you're wrong? No, you were right. No. What do you mean? You saying that Hassan doesn't provide insightful and deep commentary on important political and social issues? Well, potato ban plug. I was considering throwing up Hassan, our favorite himbo, up on stream, see what his take was. But I often find like I really want to try to create my own content, use source material, and like riff off of that so that I can, you know, practice getting my own voice and also my own takes, try to stay original, working with the chat kind of thing. I find like one pitfall for a lot of streamers is that they become orbiters, right? Like, I mean, I know I'm very much a heme orbiter at this point, but it's not like I'm watching heme content and producing videos about heme. Yo, thanks for the follow, Josh is fine. Welcome to the stream. So I really want to keep my own craft, keep on pushing it, if it's just jokes or whatever it takes. And Hassan is loud. He's very loud. He's very loud. She was asked one time on a radio program what's something that she has always on her, and she said hot sauce. Wait, okay, all right, I'll have to find that. Imagine being a heme orbiter. Yeah, I mean, heme is a sweetheart, and he like literally raids me regularly. He's like the only Twitch streamer who raids me regularly, which is like honestly a lovely and very warm feeling. You don't really get that on YouTube. YouTube, it's more like the algorithm randomly rewards you, and it might not be with a community that you feel comfortable with. Like I'll get a lot of like right wingers that are like, yeah, Maga tier, like Maga, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you guys are gonna have a tough time here, but let's try to make it work, I guess. Let's see how far we can take this. And it never really goes well. They always get upset, and weird vaccination conspiracy theories come out, and I get like kind of, yeah, no, you know. Yeah, no, I got a very different voice. I regularly put on a poetry slam, so that's kind of where my content brain comes from.
Or her home office. Anyone remember the Clinton Foundation State Department scandals? No search warrants there.
Wholesome Twitch is where it's at.
Hunter Biden, he's being investigated by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Delaware. No search warrant there. No Merrick Garland authorized raid. Eric Holder, he was held in contempt of Congress.
I also just got
no
ratioed.
Accountability.
Chat, I just got ratioed. Could you fix this for me? I don't really understand how ratios work, but I'm pretty sure I got ratioed, and I'm not too happy about it. And I'm wondering, could you guys fix that? Is that something chat can do? Do you have the power? Okay, do you know Big Joel? He's like a really good content creator. He's a lefty. He does like ratioed is like on Twitter where you make a comment, and if you have a lot more replies than likes, it means a lot of people are engaging with you, but it might be like because they disagree. And when everybody likes what you said and there's not a lot of replies, then people definitely agree with what you said. So if I say something and someone replies to me and they get a huge amount of likes, then I got ratioed. And that's what happened here, and I'm not happy about it. So somebody wrote, I'm so nonchalant, I'll stop giving a fuck in the middle of a sentence and stop talking, LMFAO, ah. And Big Joel, as he does, that's not really what a ratio is anymore. Okay, educate me. But Big Joel says, like every other reply is someone saying the OP is misusing the word nonchalant, which no, they aren't. They're so blasé and relaxed that they don't even care to finish their own sentences. How does Twitter pick which mass mania to have? Where does it get such ideas? I find this hilarious. He's absolutely, yeah, I'm getting there. I'm setting up the contest because it's kind of funny. But this is a good take. This is a good take. He's like, yeah, she's right. That's a funny tweet. But then he goes and makes like a whole video about it. Like, I'm shaking right now. Like, massive quantities
Imagine
of
like
people.
a lame like hack stands up, goes on stage and is like, you know, I'm so nonchalant, I don't even finish my own. And then the audience is like, fuck you, prick! That's not even what the word nonchalant means in my unhinged opinion. Fuck you!
He's so
That's
mad.
what's happening on Twitter right now,
He's
and it doesn't
so
make
mad.
any goddamn sense.
He's so mad. He's like big mad.
Imagine like
I
a
will concede
lame.
that if this is an online flash mob that decided to gaslight a random tweet about a word means, that's pretty good. I don't think it's that, but if it is, it's working on me. My favorite are the people posting the definition, just posting irrefutable evidence that they have no fucking clue what's happening. Absolutely devastating. And somebody's like, the math ain't mathing. Nonchalant. Feeling or appearing casually calm. And he's still going. I'm never going to stop tweeting.
384 people read a tweet, went into the replies of that tweet, saw a comment posting the definition of a word they used properly, and were like...
So this is where I came in. Because this is like classic Big Joel, who's just a mix
384 people...
He's like a mix of incredulity and laughter. So I wrote, man discovers ignorance, laughs, builds a career out of pointing and laughing, a story as old as time. And he's like, dang, real. And he ratioed me. He ratioed me, everybody. He ratioed me. And I find that objectionable, okay? My honor has been besmirched. I've been slapped. If you have it in you, please ratio him back. This is bullshit, okay? This is bullshit. This is uncalled for, and his community should have liked my thing as much as his thing, I would assume. So stupid. So stupid. Yeah, the only kind of ratios I'm going to get behind are the pettiest disputes. Only the most petty disputes from here on out. I don't think I'll ever get to the point where my ratios are meaningful. But this is a funny one. This is a good one to get in on the ground floor. Okay, moving on.
Isn't this America?
Is this America?
I thought this was America.
I thought this was America, everybody. It's America. I thought this was America. Okay, all right. Let's take a look at what the scene was like outside Mar-a-Lago. If you've checked out my stream before, and now is, I guess, my time to throw out a quick pitch. I usually cover the news, politics, do music, poetry. I'm working on an EP and a music video in the next 3 weeks. It's going to be crazy. But yeah, if you like what you see, subscribe. It's like $5 a month. If you got Prime, stick it to Jeff Bezos, and support your favorite local little tiny streamer. And I'll like drink Maga tears. And usually when it's like politics, I'm trying to like find protest scenes, find, you know, like as raw sources we can get, and we'll just meme on it and learn as much as we can. Anyways, pitch over. Let's check out the scene outside of Mar-a-Lago, because freedom, freedom, everybody.
Property rights. Why should we?
I thought this was America. And then I'm sure like Ben Shapiro and Steve Crowder are going to be crying later. They don't want the freedom, everybody. They ain't even know what freedom is. I thought this was America. Oh, and we also got some Morning Joe to break up this content. Although it's already pretty great. It's already really great. They're singing. Yes. Sing the hymns. It's a crime scene.
Yeah, their crime. The crime of the FBI to break into a private home.
They're the ones doing the real criming. Rabble, 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 rabble.
He's awful.
Hunter Biden. Hunter, the meth addict or crack addict.
Communists in this country. No way.
Comunismo.
Is that a real? What am I hearing right now? What is that voice?
Hunter Biden. Hunter, the meth addict or crack addict.
Communists in this country. No way.
Comunismo. No.
It's like, is it like an old abuela who like hates America or something? Like what? She's got to be smoking meth. Yeah, they're all projecting about the meth because they're like, maybe we can normalize having sex and smoking meth if you know, we just talk about it enough. Emerging from the depths of the earth. Yeah. We must defend our leader.
The liberal media.
It's the liberal media, everybody. The New York Times. Literally, Bill Gates is behind the FBI raid. Rabble, 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 rabble.
I hit her with my arm.
There's a bunch of people around on that bridge.
Can you hear that okay? Let's see if I can boost this a little bit.
Honk for freedom, honk for truth.
Freedom.
We want less meth addicts in the White House.
Freedom.
Preferably none. No communists, no drug addicts, no alphabet soup.
Hey, people from Miami coming.
The FBI is only 3 letters.
The Trump train's right.
Yeah, I know, right? Keck W.
Let's get rowdy.
She's got one of those. She's like smoking.
Carrying some sort of.
This is my president.
Okay, all right. Maybe we don't need the volume boost. I think I'm peaking. Yeah, alphabet soup. It's like the 3-letter agencies: FBI, DHS, DOD, Department of Defense, Department of Justice, DOJ, CIA. You ever notice they're all 3 letters? It's right there. It's right in your face. You just gotta open your eyes, sheeple. All of the agencies that have power of you, 3 letters. Now, what's significant about the letter 3, okay? Now, you see, the letter 3...
Don't nobody want this comic because we not in China. Everybody hate a Trump and now they out to catch a body. That's what they get for treating us like we in Squid Games. Green light, man.
Yeah, this is like DMCA. I'm gonna get clapped. Oh my God, this flag is amazing.
You're the friend of
Chef's kiss.
2024 is closer. You're Lydia. Yes.
Absolutely.
2024 is closer than you think. I love Lydia. I went to Tallahassee with her.
Fake propaganda. Because they
It's
don't
fake
want
propaganda.
President Trump running. They're so afraid.
She's just laughing in the background.
Are they? Okay. How late are we going? I'm going to have to get my phone.
So bizarre.
Okay. They're coming? That's fantastic. Oh, we've got...
Like, what are these flags?
Why don't you guys go check Hunter Biden's house? Instead.
Y'all gotta get yourself some Maga tears. Absolutely delicious. This is the start of the next civil war, everybody. I've been warning about it on this very stream for 3 months? Not very long. Maybe 6 months. Let's be generous. Ever since I started reading that book by Stephen Marsh, which I recommend. It's a great book. But yeah, it's starting, everybody. The cold civil war is finally over. Let's crank up the temperature. Yay. And we have fine examples of how to behave, you know, in large crowds. Kyle Rittenhouse set a pretty clear standard. So get your guns. Let's all go defend some property, everybody. Should be great. Should be awesome. Oh my god. Yeah, sorry. It's gonna be DMC again. Oh my god, there's helicopters. And was that a billboard on a truck? That's wild. It's just like an airplane in the background. Crazy. People like got it. What did they think they were gonna do? What are they protesting? Wow. You would work for the FBI if it meant I got to drink Maga tears? Well, this is the part that's crazy, Code Saren, is that, like, the FBI is largely right-wing. It's, like, largely a right-wing organization. Most cops, in general, tend to be right-wing. Like, is that... Did I miss a memo or something? Like, I think, like, someone pointed out, every single leader of the FBI, without exception, has been a Republican. Without exception. Chris Wray, like, just go down the list. They've all been Republicans. Even the one that, oh man, the stupid tall guy who tried to hide in the drapes. I've forgotten his name. The one who opened an investigation into Hillary right during the investigation, right during the election. Remember that? Opened up a nothing burger investigation on a political, on a politician during the federal election. Yeah, that was a fun arc. That was great. Oh, I can't remember his name. We used to be a constitutional republic, everybody. I mean, we should break out the bingo cards again, like we used to do during the Freedom Convoy rallies, because I thought this was America keeps coming up. Like, there's going to be like maybe a dozen or 24 phrases, and we're just going to hear them recycled and recycled and recycled.
More people showing up. Fake news over there on their phone.
Fake news.
Helicopters. My name's Lane, U.S. Navy veteran.
It's the fake news media, everybody. Oh, this is beautiful. Honestly delicious. Okay, are we gonna listen to the libs? We listen to Maga tears. Let's see what the libs are saying. The or shall I say the ex Republicans. We got some Morning Joe lined up.
Quitter.
Which I normally wouldn't watch, but he usually is like a good barometer of like how the country is talking about this. You'll listen to Fox News at night, and then you listen to Morning Joe in the morning, and you'll get an idea of the spectrum.
To leave office before my term is completed is abhorrent to every instinct in my body.
Great clip.
But as president,
I am not a crook.
I must put the interests of America first.
Yeah, remember Nixon, the famous president who put the country before his own political interests? Remember Nixon?
I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
Oh, God.
Vice President Ford will be sworn in as president at that hour in this office.
August 8th, 1974, remembered as the day Richard Nixon resigned from
Look how far
office.
we came.
Now, 48 years later, Donald Trump becomes the first ex-president to have the FBI
so many
execute
records.
a search warrant on his home.
First
Trump
time to get double
posted
impeached.
just before 7 p.m. last night that Mar-a-Lago was, quote, currently under siege, raided, and occupied by a large group of FBI agents, adding, quote, they even broke into my safe. A source familiar with the search tells us...
It's so funny. It's like, they even gotten into my most secret place. It's like, yeah, that's the point of a warrant. That's how warrants work.
NBC News, the investigation is related to the transfer of classified government documents from the...
Honestly, between this and that insane arc from the Alex Jones trial where his entire phone, an entire clone of his phone was sent to the other lawyer by accident, like that arc and this one might actually be like the dam breaking on this sort of criminal conspiracy that we've basically been watching in public, just straight up just happening. We're just kind of watching it all happen. It's all very public. It's all very obvious.
White House to Mar-a-Lago. The National Archives reported in February that 15 boxes of documents were improperly taken to the president's Florida estate when he left office. At the time, the agency said it had asked the Justice Department to investigate. A source familiar with the situation tells NBC News boxes of documents were seized during yesterday's FBI search. Trump's attorney released a statement claiming the former president and his legal team have been cooperative with the FBI and DOJ. Quote,
they've been cooperative, but they still needed to do a pre-dawn raid without telling anyone, in absolute secrecy. No leaks. Nobody knew this was happening. I think one of my favorite arcs or conversations that was happening, because it really I really struggled with it, was if the FBI had an investigation going and it was taking it seriously, we wouldn't know about it. And so it's one of those things where you can't prove a negative, or the absence of evidence is not evidence of something, right? So it was pretty confusing. And so now that they were seeing that he got raided and got surprised, it's awesome. It's great. It reminds me of when Paul Manafort got raided.
Every step of the way. Trump slammed the search as, quote, prosecutorial misconduct, the weaponization of the justice system, and an attack by radical left Democrats who desperately don't want me to run for president in 2024.
Actually, they do, because if you run, Democrats know they'll win. So
there's this really odd strategy being played out in one of the Congress people going up for an election. It's the Claire McCaskill tactic or whatever, and Democrats ran ads to support essentially one Republican candidate over another during the primaries, so that they could elect the Maga one instead of the Republican who believes there was a coup d'etat. And they're doing that. They're supporting the extremist because they think they can beat him in the general. And it's oh, God, you guys are playing with fire. What are you doing? But if it works, it worked for Claire McCaskill a dozen years ago.
You got that wrong, too. But I'm sorry, Mika. Go ahead.
The former president was in New York City at the time of the search as he prepares to be deposed in the state's civil case against the Trump organization. He left Trump Tower last night without commenting. Good morning and welcome to Morning Joe. It's Tuesday, August 9th. And Joe, I want to hear your thoughts off the bat, but keeping in mind, I believe the head of the FBI was appointed by Trump?
Yeah, called him a great guy, a man of the highest integrity. It's just like all these people that are testifying against Donald Trump in the January 6th hearings. They're all Trumpers. The guy running the FBI, a Trumper, appointed by Donald Trump. These aren't left-wing Democrats. But, it's interesting. Vladimir Putin, he doesn't believe in the rule of law. She doesn't, laughs at the idea of the rule of law. Orban,
rule of law, everybody.
The hero of right-wing freaks in America, he doesn't believe in the rule of law.
And what's
they all
crazy,
systematically work to break down the rule of
didn't
law.
They,
just like
didn't Viktor Orban just come and speak at CPAC or whatever it was? They just had him on, and he's been he recently was talking up putting people in camps and stuff. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O.
Donald Trump. The only problem is that we Americans, we still believe that no man is above the law. We still believe in the rule of law. That's why Donald Trump is under investigation right now.
It is so wild to watch lib cucks be Law and Order. It is, oh man, I'm getting whiplash.
In Georgia for trying to steal.
He called Hungary the
election.
Lone Star State? Really?
The DOJ is investigating Donald Trump for leading a failed, because you'll notice I use the words Donald Trump at the beginning of the sentence. Donald Trump is under investigation for leading a failed fascist coup.
A failed
against the United
fascist
States
coup?
on January the 6th.
Wow. Those words came out of Morning Joe's mouth? Okay. Respect. I didn't think he had it in him, but let's listen to that again. Holy no
The
shot,
words
man.
Donald Trump at the beginning of the sentence. Donald Trump is under investigation for leading a failed fascist coup against the
Let's
United States on
go.
January the 6th. And he's
Yeah.
also under investigation for seizing classified documents from the White House after he left and taking them down to Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, it's really rare. Usually, like, libs always sort of like bite their tongue. They never go say what they actually want to say or like describe it how it actually is. Like when you strip it down to its parts, you usually get some like mealy mouthed statement or a him and a ha. But he went for it. It's nice to hear.
Which is very rich. The irony of it all. The lock her up chance because
lock
of
her
some
up.
emails that may have been classified later. But Donald Trump, he grabbed classified documents, put
cut
them
and
in
dry.
boxes, and fled for Mar-a-Lago.
And it's going to be like really simple, right? Because if they went there and found the documents, then yeah, he definitely did the crime, right? Like it's pretty cut and dry. Did you have the documents that were reported stolen? Yes. Says here that means you did some criming.
The ones that he didn't tear up and flush down toilets. The ones that he didn't tear up and destroy and
By
throw in
eating it.
garbage cans.
He literally ate some paper. Like it's not even mob boss where he's burning it, which would make the most sense because then it turns to ash. No, he's flushing it down toilets, eating it, and then taking it to his personal safe. It's like stupid Watergate all over again. I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Evidence he didn't destroy. You see,
he needs his fiber.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
it was that last
I
possible
know,
crime
right?
that Donald Trump committed.
Well, that's why we watched the kids. Like the kids, like we got to see just a little taste of the panic from Eric Trump and Lana.
That brought the FBI lawfully and legally to Donald Trump's front doors as they tried to find those documents, tried to get to the bottom of all of this with legal search warrants. And again, legal search warrants. And that's what's so fascinating here.
Yeah, the question is like, what information did they have that like let them do that? Because that's got to be pretty. You probably have to have some pretty articulable stuff.
People last night screeching on other networks. These are other networks that have been attacking our men and women in uniform, that have been attacking the FBI since Donald Trump came to office. They love the FBI until, well, they started supporting a man who broke laws, who has contempt for the law, who believes
Criminal president.
He is above the law. Well, this morning, August 9th,
top right corner.
2022, we are reminded again that in America, no man
Thought this was America.
is above the law. And we're
just as I moved the camera. Jeez. Come on, Morning Joe. Get your shit together. Okay. That was that. Let's go back to the scene on the street.
Well, it went all over the Daily Mail everywhere. She was thrown out of line front gate.
You want to get a shirt that says "I heart the FBI"? That's great. That sounds pretty based. I mean, I know that Shoe on Head wears like an FBI jacket, and that's awesome. That's just like straight fire. I definitely need better drip.
We want Trump. We want Trump.
My theory is that Trump texted a lot of stuff to Alex Jones, and since his dumbass lawyer leaked his entire phone, the FBI found some spicy memes. I don't know. There's no way that's possible because the timeline doesn't really work out, right? The FBI would have just found out about it like last week. I don't know if that's enough time to get a warrant in front of a judge at that high a standard, specific to like this safe, which it sounded like they were going after documents and it's about the national records. So I think these are two very, very, very different things. The Alex Jones stuff is going to like play out in another year or two. It's going to take some time for the January 6th to get their hands into it and the FBI. Yeah. It would be fun. It would be fun. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising if there's texts between Trump and Alex Jones. You know, he was on his show.
No, Don't worry, the FBI has nothing to find, so they'll be in there a while. It's a big place.
We're gonna be all night.
Yeah, they'll probably be in there a couple days. I'm sure they're helping themselves to everything in the bar and the restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
On the house.
The FBI are just having a drink. That's what's going on.
They had the eminent domain everything in the fridge. Would you guys do us a favor? For my video, can you say Cubans for Trump in Spanish?
Oh, yeah.
Cubans for Trump in Spanish? Wait, what?
Oh, perfect. Go.
I had eggs and bacon this morning. I made sure to have extra bacon just to celebrate.
Viva Libre!
What
Viva
is happening?
Estados Unidos Libre! Sin comunismos aquí! Sin comunismos aquí!
This isn't the capital. Yeah. I thought we were going to the capital.
Hey, wait, put it on again.
Her voice is incredible.
We got people from Miami coming. What do you say to people who think Trump is a racist?
Oh my god. Can we get an interview with her?
Democrats are racist. Who founded the Ku Klux Klan? Democrats.
I love how it's like the old I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. Like it's just like that's all that's happening. It's just like childhood logic.
Who freed slavery? Or ended slavery? Republicans.
You hear that, everybody? It was the Republicans who ended slavery.
They're shutting me down. They're cutting the connections. I didn't have any connection issues a minute ago. They're shutting down the tower.
I really hope she's a waitress in a diner. Yeah, she's just like demon spawn. Works in the local Denny's.
What's that?
The midnight shift, the
Who
graveyard
Republican?
shift.
Abraham Lincoln, first Republican.
We got Lincoln, everybody.
That was the Democrats.
Okay, Steven Crowder is live, so I think that's going to be a resupply, a re-up of liberal tears.
And just to be clear,
yes,
this show, before we bring on Giuliani,
whoa, not bad. That's a big name for him.
It's not funded by billionaires who made money off of energy. It's not funded by a 501c3, by nonprofits.
Oh, he's watching
No one owns
Gazowski.
it but me. No
You're
one
a
signed the
Republican
front of these checks at this company but me. 100% of it.
Oh, it's privately
And that
owned,
is
eh?
entirely funded by you. And I don't mean like PBS says
You
it,
hear
where they
that,
say
chat?
viewers like you, but what they really mean is it's actually receiving.
I have a pretty long-standing rule that if somebody's giving a pitch and I'm watching them, I'm just gonna pitch over them. I am also supported by you, and I don't know. I create good content, have good takes, make good food, play music. Do you guys like poetry? Huh? Poetry, everybody? Huh? Support your local poet. Okay, I'm done. Bit over.
That and
every
Buttery
butthurt
emails.
emails had her shirt, so it
Liars
helps
are lying,
onward
and they will
together.
continue
partners.
lying
Defend
until
democracy,
proven
build
wrong.
the progressive bench,
Thanks
and
for
fight
the subscribe. Yo, I appreciate it so much, Code Saren. Thank you.
for our values. Just saying.
By the way, that is the most retouched picture of Hillary Clinton.
Ben, je suis pas vraiment québécois là. I've lived here long enough to. I've lived half my life in Quebec, so peut-être je suis un Québécois. Je suis comme résident là. And maybe we play some Mobazoo later. Make a haiku now, or you're a fake poetry fan. Oh shit. Okay, let me think about this real quick. We drink Maga tears every day here live on Twitch. I am so awesome. I don't know. I got nothing. Freedom. It's an awesome game. I don't care what they say. Yeah, Mobazoo.
Yeah.
What is like 8 syllables? Who's counting? Shut up, guys. Shut up. Shut up. Haikus are stupid. You guys are. Stop bullying me, okay? Okay. I do improv comedy, not improv poetry. It's very different. These are different skills, everybody.
She created an actual.
Okay, we'll go back to
Well,
live.
yes.
Live
Seeing
Maga
those dance
tears.
moves.
Instead of massaging Maxwell House coffee cans
Hey,
for hours on end.
Ooh, trying to make jokes.
You know, it's hard to find those, the tin cans, because I use them for ashtrays.
Really?
Yeah, they're the best ashtray because you put coffee grounds in and close the
He's
lid.
actually
You
right
can't
about
find
that.
the metal,
He's actually right about that. That is true.
aluminum cans anymore.
I just put the
donate
cigarette
bits,
butts
but
in.
the limit's too high.
Yeah, Hunter with the crack pipe.
Yeah.
You think Hillary Clinton's a lesbian? I say
look into
yes.
that.
Truthfully, yeah.
Yeah, truthfully,
know what
yes.
you
No,
mean.
I'm not joking. I think
Yeah.
she's a lesbian. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Really?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Bits
that's
are
why
silly
she
though. Bits are like one of the silliest things though. Like it's like 10 cents or something. It's like this really weird amount. Like I get like 10% of that or something crazy. I can't remember why, but bits seemed kind of like a scam. I don't know, one of those Twitch scams. But let me take a look.
Okay. Her husband, she's like, look, go do whatever. I
Yeah.
don't mind.
It was always an arrangement.
He's like, but I'm doing a 16-year-old on Epstein Island. Have fun.
She's like, whatever. You know, I get it.
Make sure there's no cameras.
Yeah. And he comes
Don't
back.
sign
He's like,
the flat
I screwed up. There were cameras? No, there was actually someone stenciling me in a dress. You didn't have to sit for the portrait.
It was
I know.
3 hours.
It was a thing. I thought it was a style thing. People were sitting in dresses for portraits.
But there's one thing she'll never have. Boots that go up to her knees. They don't make them.
No.
They do not make
Impossible.
One thing she'll never wear, flood pants.
That's right.
They just become knickers.
Yeah.
With a K.
Okay.
Yes, not
A K, to be clear. God, this is where we are right now. Let me know, do we have...
Is 50 a good minimum bits? Is that better? I cut it in two? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Do we have Giuliani? Is he here? Is he ready to go?
Not yet.
Giuliani.
Well, I don't necessarily know if he's known for punctuality.
Of any woman that doesn't like me as a lesbian? Yeah, of course. Pretty sure you get the highest. Really, Signy streams. Okay, all right. Okay, I didn't know that. I think I think maybe the distaste I got is like him will be having like this really lovely conversation. He'll be getting somewhere. We'll be learning some. I think it even happened during the Loner Box interview. And then like there will be a bit cheer and like TTS. And like it's kind of grinding the momentum to a halt, and it's like for like somebody tipped like 10 cents or like tipped like 50 cents or something like that. And it's like I don't even have. I tried to get the TTS and I couldn't. Like the awesome like SpongeBob or Trump votes, they just like closed the gate and it was too late for it. So I just like kind of didn't really understand what the value of it is. So I'll drop it down to 10, and we'll see if that makes things better. All I care about is if there's good content or not. You know what I mean? Like. But sorry.
Cricket Wireless takes
I'll stop
a minute.
getting.
Let's take well, I was going to say, today we usually do this behind the paywall. Can we take a couple of chats really quickly? Is there anything else that I'm missing here? Is there anything new and developing? I hope that I've covered all the bases for you. Again, all references are available at ladderofcredit.com. We usually have the link in the description.
Yeah. Oh, really? Sunny streams? Oh, nice. I have to check that out. That's 50 cents. Sunny, stop being weird.
Because I think this is an important
Yeah, be nice. The computers are expensive, but I hear graphics cards have come down.
Day where you should be. I would recommend that you read all of these sources that we have today.
Yeah.
I think it's really important.
Well, that's what it said. There's not a lot that they're going after. I'm sorry, Joe.
No, I just have a quick question. So I think everybody right now is demanding a response from the FBI.
Yeah.
Do you think Merrick Garland comes out today and tries to quell this a little bit?
It's actually a good
because
question.
the heat from this already today is crazy.
Yeah.
They feel that they're above the law.
Yeah. So your
Wait,
answer
what?
is no.
I don't know. Maybe he will, but he's not going to answer it.
Yeah.
And who's the only person that's above the law?
Oh, I'm just memeing on how you say sinus streams. Uh-oh. How should
I hope
I
he
say
comes
it?
out and just gets pied in the face. That would be a great pressure.
Sina streams? How should I be saying this word?
Yeah.
Relief right now, wouldn't it?
Oh, I love it.
Wouldn't that improve your day just a little bit?
A little.
Improve my day 100%.
Especially if you like got pied and before they tackled him, he had like enough time to twist it.
Just
for sure.
Make it stick.
Like a
Thank you.
bozo show gag.
Well, that happened to our prime minister.
One of the important things about making new friends is learning how to say their names correctly. So always correct me. You think someone who speaks French would know how to pronounce a French word? Excuse me, I'm learning the language, and there are many gaps in my vocabulary.
Canada like 9 times.
Really?
Yeah, our prime minister doesn't get
Google it.
assassinated; he gets pied.
Oh, my God.
It's worse.
We also had a guy.
Oh my
trying to
God! I should know that
Shoe
word.
Trudeau.
Jesus,
He was trying to hide.
How do I not know this word? La Seine?
That's what happened.
What, with the prime minister?
Yeah, it happened not with Trudeau, but with other prime ministers.
my whole ass.
And there was actually an assassination
Whole
attempt.
ass.
I can't remember if it was Stephen Harper or if it was Chrétien, where the guy got into the prime minister's house, mansion.
Okay. Yeah.
We're here for my mistakes.
Didn't even bring a weapon. So he like grabbed cutlery from their own kitchen. I was like, I guess I should have thought this through.
Yeah.
Got up to the bedroom.
Or at all.
The wife saw him and closed the door.
The end.
That's how he was thwarted.
Like it was a
She's
beagle.
like, lock. And she's calling. She's like, hey.
Failed Frenchman.
Hello,
confirmed,
ring,
trying to
ring.
get you kicked out of
Security.
Quebec.
This guy's
Stop.
here. Yeah, he's using my.
Hey, I am a white male, okay? Quebec wants me. Quebec is like, yeah, give me more of that, please. And he's learning the language. Ooh.
Knives.
No, he doesn't have a pie. Yeah, much worse.
What kind of?
And I'm pro-freedom. I'm pro-freedom, which is big in Quebec. You know, QAnon is big here too.
Knives are they? Oh, they're not like Ginsu or anything. They're just butter knives.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
I think he got them from our plastics Tim Hortons leftover drawer.
Yeah. And if he tries really hard, he might scratch the door.
Yes.
But can you come up anyway?
Yeah.
Maybe do your job.
Actually, speaking of which, I've been trying to come up with like a really good controversial question to get into like the debate space. I think there's somebody who's willing to have a chat with me. I'll just like see what it's like. I got more time next week. And I thought like a really interesting discussion was the question, is fat phobia fascist or kind of fashy? Because I got into like this big long Twitter discussion about it, or argument, or whatever you want to call it, conversation. And I'm genuinely, I don't know, I'm struggling. There's like good points on either side. And I thought it could be an interesting like way to have a conversation with someone. Doesn't really matter which side of it you land on. It's just kind of like hard to navigate. What do you think? Is that like a good topic? Is fat phobia fascist or fashy?
That actually happened in Canada. It's a silly place. So when people talk about,
Canada
America,
is a silly
we
space.
have socialized healthcare, it's because you're a silly country that's
We are
inconsequential and doesn't matter.
And they do
And we can do silly things and get hurt and go to the hospital, and it's chill.
do surgery with Tim Hortons knives.
Yes, they
That's
do.
a fact.
They don't let a good knife go to waste, Dave.
No.
No, we
well,
just sterilize them.
They clean them. They use them twice.
Oh, wait a second. Right now, they are
Native-
talking on
Native
CNN
Americans,
before we go
yeah,
to Giuliani. And if
business.
we don't get Giuliani here soon, then we can just go and take chat. We're going to do some extensive chat with you today. Former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. So
House. That is
let's see
one
what
of
they're
the things
saying.
that they've really wanted to get to the bottom of with some of these high-ranking officials who, frankly, had a lot of concern after what they saw on January 6th. We know that a handful of high-ranking officials have already
Talk about sleight of hand right now.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, January 6th.
If we're
January
trying to promote the use of the word fascism to just describe things we do not like, yes, great debate topic. Yeah, because that's kind of where I'm falling on it, right? Like you can take the logical steps to get from fat phobia is fascist because it's like denigrating the other and elevating an ideal person, like a Ubermensch. But also at the same time, when the fascists come, they're not coming for fat folk. They're coming or like overweight folk. They're coming for Jews and leftists and like LGBT and queer folk. Like so there's you can take either side of it and you'll have something to run with. So if at least one person thinks it's interesting, I'll probably maybe this week over the weekend reach out to a few people, see who's interested in that topic, and try to get a one-to-one. I've done some reading, and a lot of people might be souring on the big 9-person debate panels. I find them overwhelming. You can never hear someone. You're like somebody getting to a really good point, and then someone will just start yelling over top of them. And I hate that stuff. I like the one-to-one stuff where it's like you got nowhere to hide. You got to follow each idea up as much as possible. Sounds kind of tame, to be honest. Okay, yeah, it can definitely be spicier. Who wants to claim it as fascist?
6th, huh? It's like a photographer with a rattle for a baby.
I want to debate streamers.
See the January 6th? See the January 6th? Hold on a second. Does it have anything to do with it? You went there as classified?
Oh, that's the problem, though. I'm a sweetheart. There's nothing worse than being killed with kindness, So, you gotta be careful around me.
Is this a January 6th thing? January 6th. January 6th. Come on, look over here. January 6th. Rattle, rattle, rattle.
She looks like she should be reporting from a black leather sofa.
Yes, she does.
Doesn't she?
She usually does. They told her it was unprofessional.
Around January
Look
6th
into
and
the.
afterwards. And
Look at this camera.
Yes, please inform us.
CNN.
Courtney loves stunt double.
Thank you so much for that. Back with me now, Caitlin Collins,
Thank you,
Paul
Hole.
Callan, and CNN's Dana Bash.
That would
Dana,
be
focusing
Gildoy.
in on the Trump cabinet, and as Sarah was
Very
laying
much
out,
against.
specifically on the conversations
Anti-murder.
around the 25th Amendment, what does that tell you about where the committee is, what path the committee is headed down now?
This is why we have this here, just so you know. A lot of shows, either they do live programs where it's just people talking, or they pre-tape these kinds of programs. And by the way, we know this because we've spoken with people at YouTube extensively. They recommend that we don't go live.
Wait, what?
They don't want you to go live because it's risky, right? Nothing
That's
up our
fair.
sleeve. That's why we have CNN up here. We don't pre-tape these things. The only things we ever pre-tape sometimes are Ash Wednesdays. That's the only thing we pre-tape. And obviously the sketches, things like because we want you to experience this right now live.
But when
Do
we
you see what's happening?
When we experience things live, we get to watch you run like a little scaredy cat when Sam Cedar wants to debate you. That's the problem with live. All your most embarrassing moments are caught, and we all gonna make meme off it and make jokes.
Pompeo testifying before the January 6th committee, or the raid, the unprecedented FBI raid on President Trump's house. We've always wanted to think that there's someone who knows what they're talking about in media. People used to think like Walter Cronkite. No, it was always horse shit. They're not giving you news that you need to know. They are always selecting news that they want you to hear. That's what they do. That's their job. They're incapable of anything.
Do you think he's read Noam Chomsky?
Just let this sink in. There has never been an unbiased media. There has never been unbiased journalism in this country. We all like to think that there's some experts sitting there going like, this is something that Americans have to know. That's never been the case. They say
That's my favorite thing is that journalists usually invite experts on and then ask the best questions they can. Crowder doesn't do that. Crowder's inviting Rudy Giuliani on.
Do we want to craft it just like a political campaign? All right, I believe we have
Nice.
America's mayor coming up here. We have Rudy Giuliani on the line.
Imagine thinking Crowder can read. Yeah. Rudy Giuliani and hip
You
hop.
referred to Mr. Giuliani. You prefer mayor? You prefer Rudy.
Oh my God,
Well,
he looks so ancient.
She likes Mayor Giuliani, and I like Rudy.
Okay, I just heard her say.
What happened to his hair dye, everybody?
Hey, Rudy, because then Gerald's going to get all aroused. He went to Notre Dame and think of that crappy film where the guy didn't deserve to be on the field.
Call me Rudolph like my mother did.
There
Pete
you
is
go.
America's
Oh, did she do
mayor?
that when you were in trouble?
I mean, Pete is like deep into corporate America, so yeah, I'd buy that.
That's what I named you, and that's what I'm going to call you.
Well, that's actually was a distinct name until that little prick reindeer had to ruin it for the rest of you. So
Made my kindergarten very tough.
I can imagine. Yeah, just ask Blitzen. Now, Mayor Giuliani, you're in the same office, I believe. One of the times you were a guest on this program, and we last spoke. And by the way, people can, of course, you can listen to his podcast at Rudy Giuliani's Common Sense. You can listen to wherever podcasts are. You can follow him.
Dude, I've been smoking some good shit.
On Twitter at Rudy Giuliani.
GiulianiCS.com.
Okay, there you go. Because I didn't want to say Mayor Giuliani and then get the plug wrong. Let me first ask you something before we get to you having been raided. This is why I wanted to have you on because you have firsthand experience. Is this unprecedented?
Pardon me?
Is this unprecedented what they've done with
him? Yeah, eh?
Rudy
Giuliani just hotboxing his office before an interview.
Incredibly unprecedented in many different ways. First of all, it's the first time that a president has authorized, and of course his administration, a criminal action against his predecessor.
Right.
I mean, we've had a couple of
Lotion
centuries of
residue?
history,
Ew.
and we've avoided the
No,
practice
Rudy just has a natural glow, everybody. Stop it.
in banana republics and fascist states of the practice of putting your predecessor in prison.
Beautiful.
And this is the first time any president has ever done that. I mean, even when Trump was confronted with lock her up, every place he went, he never restarted the criminal case against Hillary Clinton.
Right. And she wasn't president. She was just not sleeping with him.
He is, Carol.
But I mean, she was the Secretary of State and the wife of the president and his opponent.
Right.
So we're breaking an unwritten rule
There's a zoo
that has kept us a democracy and kept
Someone's
us different than a
zooming and
fascist
panning the
state. Also, you can't see this in a vacuum.
Right.
They've been hounding him for, they've been trying to frame him for a crime for 7 years.
Yes.
They're not able to articulate what this crime is.
They were able to articulate it so well, it took several days, and there were 2 impeachment hearings full of days and days of presenting evidence.
This is
being
some kind
raptured
of
as they
alleged
speak?
record violation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they said
yeah. Like he is absolutely fallen off. It's crazy. The old man glasses. I don't know. He's absolutely aged. Even like recent pictures of Trump are like, whoa, what happened in like even the last few months?
Handling of classified information. I want to make sure the audience hears it from you. A former president, right? Just to be clear, of course, many former presidents still have access to classified information. The media has tried to imply that is somehow illegal. It's not. Their claim is that he wasn't handling it properly.
He
right?
took it home, you psycho. What are you talking
Which
about?
I would imagine every single president putting together a presidential library makes that mistake 100 times.
Oh,
yes. This has never been pursued criminally ever before. This is again one of these things where they never have pursued anyone criminally but Trump people. I mean, the same thing was true with the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act until they got to Manafort. People got to pay fines for that.
Right.
Manafort went to jail and was put in solitary confinement for doing something that had just about never been prosecuted criminally. Here's the real issue. They've investigated this man for 7 years and they can't find a real crime.
So many crimes.
A crime that you and I
Oodles
would
of
relate to
crimes.
as like stealing money, like Biden.
The man crimes with every waking moment. Remember when like we found out he had lost $1 billion over 10 years and had turned that into like a tax write-off so that he was, doing fine. He's just like living off of the government teat. Remember that whole fraud thing?
Like taking bribes.
Right.
Like carrying around a .38 revolver when you're a drug addict, which is a 10-year felony. That's
And
like
throwing it
a
in a trash can by a school.
That's a real crime.
Yeah.
Being involved in a $3.1 million money laundering transaction where Biden, on record, gets $800,000 when he's the vice president of the United States. That's called bribery. That's a real crime. I can describe those crimes. This is a dispute over records are classified or not, or who gets to classify whether they're presidential. The reality is...
There's no way. How are they going to spin this that looks good when, like, national security is being raised as the rationale for the secrecy and the pre-dawn raid, like, and they definitely pulled those boxes out. I don't know what you're going to say to spin it. Like, what are you going to say?
By taking them from the White House, that mere act alone could declassify all these papers.
Right.
The president gets to classify and declassify.
Oh,
when he
okay.
ordered their removal, he was the president.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's probably
they
fine.
Stayed. The FBI padlocked this room a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
They just went and broke the padlock they put there.
I know.
They lost the key. Just
like flowers in the attic.
Remember the idiot in front of Gates, Representative Gates, who lost a hard drive?
I didn't know that.
I sent out a tweet. I said, if you want a hard drive, I got a couple extra copies.
Hard drive. Oh, you got that too.
I tried to give it to you when you raided my house and you didn't want it. Now they lost the hard drive. They went there a few weeks ago. They searched the whole place. They saw everything. They said it wasn't secure enough. So they put in an additional padlock, their own.
Yeah.
They
And
put
when
on
they
their own
came
padlock.
in, they didn't bring the key for it, so they had to crack it open. And they looked at and they took the same things they looked at.
This man understands technology. This is somebody who has a deep understanding of how computers work and encryption.
That a couple of weeks ago.
Well, to be fair, it may not have been secured well enough if the FBI were in fact the ones securing it. They probably
That's absolutely
like gym school lock. Yeah, let's just put that on there for let's call it a day. And by the way, Hillary Clinton didn't just take documents; she took the W's off the keyboard when they were leaving,
which is kind of funny.
It is.
What? What does that even mean?
It's a combination. One of them just forgot the 5.
Yes, exactly.
I don't understand that. Is that true? Is that like a conspiracy theory I haven't heard before? Hillary stealing the W's from the... Was she literally taking the W?
So it is unprecedented, and it's a very, very damaging thing to do. I mean, we're just about at the end of really saying
you don't know the
we have
lore.
a fair system of justice.
When you watch
we
right
have
wing stuff,
standards.
it's always about the lore. You just got to know the backstories.
We've had for
Yeah, I know,
5
right?
years outstanding
Absolute bangers.
criminal cases against the Bidens.
Yeah.
Not just the son and the president, but the brother. None of them have been raided. None of them have been searched. None of them have been.
I think this
have
is a
been,
good combination.
Brought before a grand jury.
This is
None of them have
funny.
been arrested.
This is funny.
Meanwhile,
Freedom
the
convoy.
Trump people get searched.
Rage, come on.
Then they don't find anything.
Well, here's my
Then they don't
question,
even
because
apologize. They haven't apologized to me.
well, I wouldn't hold your breath for that. But let me ask you this: you on this program actually was the first time the public saw the Hunter Biden laptop, and then we had you back on when the FBI raided your private offices. They didn't take that laptop. What did they take?
They took all of the electronics in my house.
Okay.
And all of the electronics, and this is really a constitutional violation, in my law office.
Ah, yeah.
Much of which didn't relate to Donald Trump.
Of course.
That is a gross violation of the Sixth Amendment.
Yeah.
And the only lawyers who get searched are Trump lawyers. I never searched a lawyer when I was in the Justice Department.
No,
I always thought there was a Sixth Amendment called attorney-client privilege. Well,
yeah,
Biden has done.
Except there's the exception where, the lawyer's doing crimes. That exception?
No attorney-client privilege for
the
Trump.
crime one?
Think about that double standard. People who
searched here and they searched my law office.
Yeah. Think about that.
And they returned everything to me.
Right.
I have everything back.
Uh-oh.
Because as I told them then,
they let him
have
go.
me come in and ask me questions and I'll answer them.
It
It took a year and a half to say yes to that. I finally went in. I spent 4 hours with him.
My law office. I know, right? Just
what I told him at the beginning is
My
true.
God.
I'm not stupid. I don't commit crimes.
Right.
I was a U.S. attorney for 17 years.
No crimes.
I know what crimes are and what they're not. Now, you're going to go make up crimes on me. I can't do much about that.
Right.
But I don't commit crimes. I just don't.
Well, think of the double standard. You have Republicans.
That definitely inspires confidence.
Conservatives out there, and this is what we're talking about. I mean, for crying out loud, Dinesh D'Souza had to wear an ankle bracelet because he gave money.
Also, chat, I just want to make it clear to you, apropos of nothing, I also have committed 0 crimes. I don't break the law ever for any reason whatsoever. No particular reason I felt the need to mention that, but just so you know.
To a friend's campaign beyond the maximum allowable amount, who lost, just to be clear. Again, these are things where usually someone gets fined, and if you're a Democrat, you don't get fined. But think about this. You're talking about attorney-client privilege. It's something that I know very well.
I definitely knew all the laws that I potentially could have been breaking, but I definitely didn't break them.
Conservatives, Republicans out there right now are afraid to even keep notes or what they discuss with their lawyer because even though it's their constitutional right, they're concerned that that could be raided. Meanwhile, Hunter and Ashley Biden leave a paper trail longer than a Circuit City receipt of every misdeed they've committed because there's no fear of retribution whatsoever. They'll walk right past the hard drive in your office to grab shit they have no right to grab from you. Pardon my language.
Did you notice how high his tone is? Like, he's hitting contratenor there. He's almost like a high C, like,
Right. And they go out and say, I never spoke to any of my son's foreign clients. And there are 17.
Was this filmed in 2000? I know, that's what I'm thinking. Like, the memes are, like, covered in dust. Like, Jesus. Hillary's emails, buttery mails, Benghazi we've heard. Like, oh, my goodness.
Of 17 different meetings with foreign clients, including Chinese communists.
The Chinese
with Joe
communists.
Biden when he was the vice president.
Yeah.
Disgustingly selling his office. This guy got $31 million from China.
I know.
China's our enemy. That's not a national security problem. And a couple of papers sitting behind padlocks in Mar-a-Lago that nobody even knows what they are. What kind of national security problem could they be?
Right. Well, to be fair, also, too, Joe Biden was just, he was loaning his office to Eric Swalwell for his practices with the Chinese spies. Look,
I don't know this lore.
And we'll actually talk about that. He actually went after me on Twitter. Eric Swalwell. Think about this like you're talking. I'm going, what wormhole did I fall into where Eric Swalwell has any...
Who went after him or his Chinese communist visitors?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Like, what's the joke? What's the actual joke? The joke is just like, remember that episode we watched? Yeah, I do remember that episode. You have those friends, chat. You have those friends where the only contribution they have to a conversation, and sometimes it might be for years, but like the only thing they'll say is just references to other shows. They know it's a safe thing to say. So they're like, oh yeah. And then they're like, say the meme. And like, remember like that show? And it's like, yeah, I do though. But what do you think? What's your opinion? That's all that's happening here. Just like fishing for laughs. Here's the tagline.
Oh, she could be running his social media at this point. I think he's dating a Russian spy now. Here.
She's actually more of a patriot.
Yes, she's more of a patriot than Eric Swalwell. We're going to go here because I want to ask you about next steps to Mug Club, so we're not on YouTube, so that way we don't need to worry about any hot water again.
Mud Club.
The Twitter is at Rudy
Should I
Giuliani,
get off
and
of
the
YouTube?
podcast is, let me make sure I get this right. I want to make sure I read everything correctly. It is
Crowder
Rudy
gonna get me
Giuliani's
banned?
Common Sense. Right now, YouTube, thank you so much. This is a day that is going to live in infamy, and I'm no longer comfortable discussing this with you. We'll take some of your questions here for,
YouTubers. I might have
America's
to...
Mayor Giuliani. YouTube
I might have to end you. Uh-oh. Oh, jeez. I don't know if I can keep streaming on YouTube after he just said, I need to leave YouTube because I'm about to DMCA. Okay, well, there you go, everybody. If you're watching on YouTube, give a like, subscribe, and come on over to twitch.tv/beweird. Same spelling. We're going to continue the show over there because it's obviously getting too spicy for the YouTube, for the YouTube, the mainstream media. All right, so come on over there where there's real freedom and emotes and a lovely community that's very supportive. Bye, YouTube. I'll see you around. I'll see you tomorrow morning. And end stream.